What's goody? What's goody? What's goody? Oh man, so this is if you guys are just hopping in, this is a very, very, very special live stream of Chalk It Up with your boy Tone DeShields II, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. You guys, as you can see, I have a special guest, up and coming Philly content creator, Philly sports content creator at that, Eagles content creator, the man, the myth, the near legend, Philly Foothills from the Nest Out West podcast. The guy's doing his thing, man. Philly Foothills, please, my guy, take it away. Introduce yourself. Plug your channel. I want you to just go in and just tell the people who you are, man, and just spill your guts, man.
Thank you, Tone. I definitely appreciate you bringing me on your channel and let me join you on this live stream. And it sounds like it's the first official live stream, so that definitely humbles my heart to be a part of that. And yeah, come check out, you guys, if you haven't already, come check out the Nest Out West. I talk Eagles damn near every day. The show is produced by Philly Fuego, who brings a lot of energy to the channel. And I try to be consistent with the Eagles content and give you guys my take. And like I say, whenever the news does break, I always come give you my take. And the reason why the channel is called the Nest Out West is because I am out here in Cali, born and raised, but I bleed green just as much as any other Eagle fan. And I love this team, and I forever will bleed green. Forever will be a Cowboy hater. I have a true hatred for the Dallas Cowboys. I haven't barely even begun to scratch the surface of my hatred for Dallas. So you guys keep your eye out for that. I'm going to be bringing lots of content, doing some collabs of my own. Hopefully try to do some live streams soon. I am fairly new to the YouTube thing, but yeah, check out the Nest Out West. Your boy Philly Foothills is always bringing you guys the great content. And yeah, I love and appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you for joining us on this live stream.
Big time, man. And you guys, seriously, go lock in on my man Philly Foothills. Like myself, we're both up and coming. We both love our Eagles. And at the end of the day, we all try to give our analysis as consistent and as truthful as we possibly can get it. But
absolutely.
We
fly together, we die together. Eagles definitely. Fans for life.
I like that.
Yes,
I like that.
Yes,
I like that. But yeah, you guys, as you can see at the bottom in that bar, y'all can see the Nest Out West. Make sure y'all go lock in, man. Go subscribe. Make sure you guys go get your Chalk It Up merch. As I always say, if you guys are new to the content, new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more, especially if you like what you hear and like what you see. On top of that, if you guys have been loyal to the channel, if you guys have been loyal to the soil, you already know what my heart is, and you know how we get down. But let's just get right into it, man. This offseason has been one of the more turbulent off seasons we've experienced in quite some time. And, let's just talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about, and I know we're kind of beating the dead horse with this, but this is actually probably going to be one of, it's going to be kind of hard to go through this offseason without mentioning Carson Wentz's name, right? He's going to be tied to us for quite some time, especially given the fact that one of the picks that we received from the Colts is entirely contingent on his success, right? So, let's just get into it, like the aftermath of the Carson Wentz drama. So many reports are coming out about Doug Peterson and Wentz's fractured relationship, and they weren't speaking for several weeks, which is kind of hard to do when you're playing such a team-related sport. It's kind of hard to, not talk to your franchise quarterback when you're the head coach for that long. So I don't know if that story is kind of being overblown a little bit or kind of being stretched out a little bit, because it doesn't even seem realistic. I don't know how do you conduct football games? How do you conduct practices? How do you do anything that moves the team forward if the quarterback and the head coach aren't talking at all? Now, when it comes to Carson and Howie, that's a different monster we have to slay. But Philly Foothills, I definitely want to get your view on this whole the whole landscape of this situation. Especially the aftermath, and how do you think we're going to make out? After all of this, I definitely want to pick your brain about this, my friend.
Yes, sir. I mean, when I initially heard the compensation for the trade, I was a little taken aback. I didn't think we got enough in return. But when I started to dive into the trade, all of us have found out that second round pick next year, depending on if Carson can stay healthy and the amount of snaps that he plays, that can turn into a first round pick. So, I definitely think that we've got the compensation that we did get for Carson. I believe it was pretty fair, but we're not going to really know who won or lost this trade until after this following season at earliest, because by that time we're going to have more information on not only Carson Wentz and his future with the Colts, but we're going to know more about Jalen Hurts and whether he's going to be our piece of the puzzle going forward, or if we're going to have to try to look in another direction. But like you said, I think it's kind of been blown out of proportion quite a bit, because I too don't see how it's realistic how a starting quarterback cannot communicate directly with his head coach. I don't even see how that's possible, especially that they didn't have an offensive coordinator. I mean, I know
Exactly.
Marty Morningwig was, kind of what was he, the offensive consultant, or
something of that nature, and that was kind of one of the more annoying parts of the Eagles, this past season. It was too many, in my opinion, too many cooks in the kitchen, too many people that were trying to have say so, but didn't really have legit roles. There was just so much confusion, so many things were conflated. I feel like too many people's roles weren't clearly defined, which led to a lot of confusion. What do you think?
I absolutely agree with you, and I think that this whole relationship between Doug and Carson was kind of doomed from the beginning of as soon as I heard that Doug Peterson was not going to be hiring an offensive coordinator, I knew there was trouble brewing, because Doug doesn't have that ability, that in-game, especially that Doug's good at scripting the first, 10, 15 plays, whatever they do to prepare for the game. But those in-game adjustments, Doug Peterson struggles at that. And he needed that.
He's not good at thinking on his feet. You're right. Exactly. He's not really good at thinking on his feet. And situational football was always lacking. Always.
Right. And it's like I said, as soon as I heard that they weren't going to have an offensive coordinator, and the fact that Press Taylor was the quarterback coach,
right?
I didn't like that mixture, and I knew it wasn't going to work for very long. I definitely didn't see, us trading away Carson Wentz like we have, but things kind of happen for a reason, and I kind of feel like I was duped a little bit by Carson Wentz. I kind of feel like maybe his heart wasn't in it even from the beginning. I don't know. It started with that.
I'm telling you, it all began when Nick Foles did what he did. That was the first domino.
He set that bar to the highest possible level, and Carson Wentz couldn't step up. That pressure just got to him.
Yeah, you're right. And to make it even worse,
kind of snowballed from there,
he knows he's more talented. You're right. To make it even worse, he knows he's more talented than him. So it's kind of like a mental thing he was going through from the very beginning. That first domino to fall was that Super Bowl run with Nick Foles and the rest of the team. And on top of that, if I'm a player and I was balling out that year and I get hurt and my team still wins the big game without me, that will make me question, okay, was it me or was it the system? Or that will also beg the question for other people as well. Not even Carson Wentz asking that question himself, but also fans asking that question. The coaches asking that question, the front office. Yeah. Was it the roster we built around him, or was he the reason? Now we're going to make it very clear that without Carson Wentz playing that position the way he played it for as long as he did, those 13 weeks, we will not even be in the situation we were in to even be in a position to get the number one seed. Because let's be honest, we know Nick Foles on the road. No, Nick Foles is not winning the Super Bowl going on a road run. He's a road trip. He's not.
No, Nick Foles he's never proven that he can stay healthy for pretty much a whole season. Nick Foles he's had his injury problems just as much as Carson Wentz has. It's just he had that great opportunity and he seized the day. you know. But like it's funny how a lot of the Carson Wentz haters forget about what you just said. Forget about that. He got us to 11-2. 11-2 as a second-year quarterback in the NFL, coming from a smaller school where he's playing against lesser. I mean, you talk about having I mean, he was like, we all know he was on the doorstep of an MVP. If he doesn't get hurt, he's like who am I thinking of? Shannon Sharp. What was he calling him? Old Wakatoon, right?
Oh yeah, he called him Wakatoon Wentz. Yeah, Wakatoon. Yep.
Wakatoon Wentz. Yeah, like because they were gonna have to walk the award to him. He was balling out that year, and if he doesn't get hurt, I mean, who's to know? We may not even have a Super Bowl ring. He may have gone. He may have gone on to win a couple playoff games, and maybe gets the NFC Championship. And
it was the perfect storm, and that was that's the spooky part about it. It was the perfect storm, and I definitely don't want to spend too much time on Wentz because he's not even on our team anymore, right? And
absolutely.
Just think we have to just address the aftermath of it because he left such a trail behind him with the cap situation. With us not getting that much compensation for him because his stock his value rather was tremendously damaged, and that just leads me on to another topic. Not just us parting ways with Carson Wentz, but
the Colts were gaining leverage by the day, and they knew that, and the Eagles knew that too. And and from what I was hearing, the Colts were about ready to. They gave the Eagles a deadline. They were about ready to pull out their offer completely and go in a different direction. So,
Right. Yep. And it's like, we got what we got for him, and I'm not even mad about it. I'm really not because like we mentioned backstage, we were just glad to be free from the situation, right? And there was not just Carson Wentz's situation, but we were able to free ourselves from guys like Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey, and 9 times out of 10 we may part ways with who knows Jason Kelsey. Maybe we trade him, maybe we release him, or he retires. Zach Ertz, maybe we trade him. I don't see the Eagles releasing Zach Ertz. I see them either trading him. They have to trade him. There's no way you can allow him to walk for nothing. He has 1 year left in his deal. But they have them part ways with them, especially if they want to get younger. They want to offload some of these bad contracts. There are so many contracts that we have to unload. You think about guys like Malik Jackson. I actually feel like we should move on from Derek Barnett. There's a handful of guys. Tell me your opinion about the fact the guys that we've gotten rid of. What they brought to the table when they were here, and where did they go wrong? Where was their downfall? These players individually. Maybe starting with Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey.
Well, with Deshaun and Alshon, their biggest issue was obviously age was catching up with them, right? I mean, they're obviously more of finesse receivers, and especially Deshaun relies a lot on his speed. So if he doesn't have his legs underneath him, I mean, Deshaun Jackson's he's pretty much worthless. If he doesn't have his legs underneath him to get himself open, then he's not very valuable. And I'm very happy actually. I mean, I obviously will always love what Alshon did in the Super Bowl and what Deshaun Jackson has done for us over the years. But I think it's a great move for the Eagles. They need to go young, especially at the receiver. We got a lot of young talent. I think a lot of young talent to build around on this team as far as receivers go, and I think they're definitely making the right moves with some of these other players. Like I agree with you about Barnett. I definitely would love to see them move on from Derek Barnett. I think he's somewhat of a bust. Other guys that are getting older, like you said, Brandon Graham's possible that they could be possibly moving on from BG, which BG is my guy. I love him. Dude.
I love him.
I love BG. He's probably my favorite Eagle, maybe of all time. I don't know. He's really grown on me over the years. His personality is
infectious. His personality is infectious.
Especially when he's around his daughter, man. I can't believe they haven't gotten some kind of commercial yet. They'd be so cute in a graham cracker commercial together, like a Honey Maid graham cracker commercial. Him and his daughter, that would be all-star commercial right there.
Right,
especially in Philly, man. They would love it.
I feel you, and like I mentioned, the goal is to get younger, right? And
absolutely,
just speaking about the receiving core. Trying to get younger. Us getting rid of Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey just cleared the way for guys like Travis Fulgham, Jalen Reagor, Quez Watkins, John Hightower, even unfortunately JJ Arcega-Whiteside. And I'm really not a fan of him, but we have an opportunity to really actually bounce back or rebound rather quickly if we draft correctly. And that leads me to my next topic, the fact that we do have the number 6 overall pick in the 2021 draft. And, we have options, right? Having a pick with that kind of value, you have options. But the thing is, with options, it's easy for you to make a mistake. And, you can also – Exactly. You can actually miscalculate, you can miscalculate someone's value. You know what I'm saying? And, I've done so many mock drafts, leading up to this. I did like 4 or 5 yesterday. I did like 3 or 4 today, just on auto. I did so many of them just to try to find a common denominator, trying to find sort of, where is there some sort of consistency in terms of what people predict the Eagles will do. And
what'd you find out?
Well, first, before I get into what I saw, who do you think the Eagles should target with that number 6 pick? Because remember, Jalen Hurts is our quarterback now, and we also don't really know what we have in him in totality. We only saw him in 4 games, and we saw flashes of dominance. We saw flashes of not so great play. So it's one of those things like, okay, do we build around Hurts, or do we have him here for now and then build around, plan for the future? Pretty much my question is, what do you think the Eagles should do with that number 6 overall pick? Do we go defense? Do we do something to bolster the offense? What do you think should happen?
Well, that kind of depends on how the dominoes fall before them, obviously, in the draft. I would not be opposed at all if one of the 2 top receivers are available at number 6. I would love that pick. I think putting another weapon around Hurts, especially if it's one of the top 2. Especially, I love Chase. Chase looks like an absolute stud, and I think he can make an immediate impact in this league. So, but that kind of, like I said, it all kind of depends on how the dominoes fall before them, or if they move. If they stay at 6, and let's say both of the receivers are gone, I would love them to go either cornerback or linebacker. And I know Eagles fans are like, yeah, right, linebacker, right? Because we do not value Howie Roseman does not value linebackers at all.
And that's the problem for me. Real quick before you continue, that is a problem. In this NFL, in today's NFL, you saw in the Super Bowl how important linebackers are. You saw linebackers. Linebackers. See, when you see, the thing is about linebackers, they have an ability to be everywhere, right? You can have your linebacker. You can have your linebacker on the line of scrimmage. You can have you can drop your linebacker back in coverage. I feel like if you have the right linebacker, a talented linebacker, a dominant linebacker who's back there, who knows what he's doing and who's capable of not only rushing the passer and dropping back in coverage, that gives you so much more versatility on defense. It just naturally does, because you can't always send your DBs to blitz, right? And Lord knows you can't drop your DNs or your D tackles back in coverage unless you're doing a QB spy, right? So, I wouldn't mind going linebacker. If we did go linebacker, I would love Micah Parsons.
Absolutely.
And as far as corner deep, I love Patrick Surtain II.
I like your picks, brother.
I would love those guys, like truly, because those are, in my opinion, talents, especially Micah Parsons on defense. That's a talent that can change the entire fabric of your defense.
Right. Yeah. And what's that cat's name that Baltimore just drafted this past year? Isn't his last name Queen? I think there's a linebacker.
Is it Patrick Queen or something like that? Or
yeah, Patrick Queen. I think that's his name. I think that's it. But that kid,
Patrick Queen.
shows
you're right, Patrick Queen. Yeah, Patrick Queen.
That shows you right there. I mean, he came in and made an immediate impact in this league, and he's Parsons is just as talented as he is, if
maybe
not
more.
Maybe more, exactly. So I'm totally with you on those two picks. You literally took the names out of my mouth. So if those two top receivers are gone, I would love Surtain to team up with Darius Slay. I think they would be an awesome duo.
Right, and he needs help. He needs help. We can't keep depending. I know Darius Slay is talented, right? But at the end of the day,
he can't cover the whole field.
He can't cover the whole field, and he's getting older at the end of the day. And even though we paid him, even though we got him, and I love D Slay, I feel like we got him maybe a year or two too late. And that way, and that's why we need to reinforce the fact that we need, some dominant DB, some youth that can, boast, that can give him, some ample time off. Maybe if it's a moment where he doesn't want to guard, the toughest guy on that snap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There has to be someone that you fear just as much as Darius Slay, if not more. Yeah. And Patrick Surtain has that potential. I'm not too sold on Caleb Farley because he's not a natural corner, and he played different positions coming up. Right, yeah. He's a hybrid. He did multiple things, and he had a no contact tear, or I think or Achilles injuries, and that always makes me nervous. That always makes me, when people have no contact injuries are very scary to me. And when you're dealing with things like that.
And anytime you mention Achilles, any recent memory, what do we think of? We think of Sidney Jones, right?
Right.
Sidney Jones was never the same. He's played better since leaving the Eagles, but that prospect in college was way. I think he was a lot quicker. He had a little more burst in his step than he does now. So I think that injury had a lasting effect on Sidney Jones. Yes. And that's always a very, very nervous injury when you're talking about those kind of injuries. It makes you very, very skeptical.
For sure. And when you just going in a little bit more about the draft. The thing about the draft is that first round pick, that's going to set the tone for the rest of the draft. That's going to let us know where we're going. If we go and I heard this from Gate City. Shout out to Gate City, man. He does great work. Covering the Eagles and things of that nature. But he mentioned something. He said in the past, I don't know if it was the past 35 years, the Eagles haven't spent a top pick on a wide receiver. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I mentioned that in. I think on that audio, the audio recording that I have on my channel. The Eagles haven't drafted not a quarterback, but the Eagles haven't drafted a wide receiver in the top 10 of the draft since 1984. And we're talking. I believe his name was Kenny Jackson. I don't even know how long he lasted in the league. I didn't research it too much, but 1984. I'm almost 40 years old. I was in diapers still, probably.
No, I feel you, man.
When they drafted a quarterback in the top 10, it was I was blown away. Yeah, they've obviously drafted quarterback. I keep saying quarterbacks. They've obviously drafted wide receivers in the first round with in the past.
Jeremy Maclin,
right? Deshaun Jackson.
Jackson was actually a second round pick. He was an early second.
Right. That's right.
He was an early second. But the two, like you said, Rager, Maclin. Before that, I can't even think of.
We didn't draft T.O. So
we didn't draft T.O. And when you think about the wide receiver core from years past, they were always more so second or third. Right. They were always like third, like they would be a third option or fourth option on any other team. But on our team,
the Freddie Mitchells, the Jason Avants, the Todd Pinkstons,
Chad Lewis, and
the James Thrashes.
Exactly, bro. James Thrash, bro.
Right.
I haven't heard James Thrash name in years, and
Yeah.
and also here's my thing, right? Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, he's going to beat out whoever they bring in. That's what I think is going to happen. I think no matter who they bring in, it can't. First and foremost, we cannot draft a quarterback in the first round. That cannot happen.
No.
That cannot happen whatsoever. Because if you do that, all that signifies to us is, we're going back on this merry-go-round again. And on top of that, it just shows that you really don't have faith in Hurts. Really, you really don't.
Right.
Right. And then by that logic, why would you draft him? So at this point, you're
a tire spinning in the mud at this
your face. Exactly. Yep. So my thing is, if you want this team to get better, if you want this team to grow from this, from this dark place where we're in, you have to build the roster, because at the end of the day, I feel like you can. I know this draft is filled with talented quarterbacks, and as far as the top 5, top 4 guys, right? But here's my thing. Every few years, so there's always the next hottest thing moving. You know what I'm saying? There's always the next hot guy moving. And my thing is, if you build a roster that's talented enough, on the right type of contracts, if you build through the draft, get some talented guys in this room, then if Jalen Hurts is not the guy, you let him play out his contract, or you try to trade him with value, then you go get your quarterback, and then you plug and play him. That way you have the talent around him to substantiate the pick and to also give him a better chance at success. You know what I'm saying? When they drafted Patrick Mahomes, even though he didn't play his first year, when that second year came around, who did he have around him? He had Tyreek Hill, Jason, he had Kelsey, he had Sammy Watkins. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when you have talent around you, a lot of weapons, we had that talent around that young guy, it makes him much more confident. That's why guys like Dak Prescott played so confident early in his career, because he had guys like Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, but then you give him CeeDee Lamb. Granted, he got hurt, but the bottom line is, when you build a roster that's talented enough, that's good enough, and then you find that quarterback you plug it in, it's easier that way rather than going the other way around, trying to find a quarterback, and then you're trying to force him to turn lemons into orange juice because the roster is not really good enough to really compete in the long term, and then you're kind of running him in the mud. Yeah,
and you know what? What you just spoke on about how it's going to be the biggest mistake if we draft a quarterback at number 6 or even anywhere in the first round. I absolutely agree with you, because it would just be starting a whole nother quarterback controversy all over again.
Right.
And I mean, it's getting so annoying to see all these speculations that the Eagles are going to take a quarterback in the first round. It's getting so annoying to keep reading about all this. And it's like the media is just, they're so feeding off of it, because the Eagles have come out and said that they're going to have, an open, or they're going to bring in competition for Jalen Hurts. The media automatically jumps on that, and they think that we're going to be drafting a quarterback high in the draft. No,
right.
If Howie wants to keep his job, there's no way he can get away with that. There's no way. Jeffrey Lurie has to take off the mom goggles, so to speak. I've been saying this for a while now. He's got some serious mom goggles when it comes to Howie Roseman, and he's got to really start seeing a spade for a spade. And if the dude can't cut it, the dude can't draft, then he can't be a GM in this league, because the draft is so important. You build championship teams through the draft, not through free agency. You stack up draft picks and you build through the draft. That's how you rebuild. That's how the Patriots have done it, and it's worked for them. So
we've done it backwards. We thought, we've always been trying to do it backwards, right? Howie Roseman has this notion, because of the formula that worked, that Super Bowl year, that you can always just keep spending money, throwing money at these guys, throwing money. Right. At the end of the day,
a broken clock is right twice a day, right? Exactly. All the Howie supporters want to point back to the Super Bowl year, but I mean, some of the drafts have been absolutely horrendous. He got lucky in free agency that year with Chris Longs and the LeGarrette Blunts
Jay
and
Ajayi.
the Patrick Pattersons, the Jay
Yeah.
Ajayis. Absolutely.
He got everybody at the right time. And on top of that, there were so many different things that happened around the league that actually helped us in that situation. For example, Aaron Rodgers was hurt, done for the year.
Right.
On top of that, Ezekiel Elliott from the Cowboys, he was suspended for damn near most of the year.
Yes.
There was just a cocktail of things that led to our success that year. But you mentioned the competition with Jalen Hurts. My theory is, if you're going to bring competition, if that's your goal, if that's what you plan to do, which I'm all for, iron sharpens iron, competition breeds, success. So my thing is, if you're going to bring in competition, granted, Jalen Hurts is the only quarterback on the roster right now, so you have to bring another guy. You actually have no choice but to. But this is what you should do, in my humble opinion. This is what you do. You can either go about it one or two ways, or you can go both ways. Actually, pause. But you can go the route of drafting a guy later and developing him in case he doesn't beat out Hurts. You know what I'm saying? By you developing the guy, he's ingrained in your system. And then if you're not sold on Hurts, you either let him walk or you trade him for picks. And then you give this guy a chance because you groomed him for the position. Or you bring in a veteran minimum quarterback through free agency this year, to play behind him, just to give him that little push. It could be anybody. I don't know if Fitzpatrick is available. But you have to make it a point to not only, put competition around this man, but at the same time, build the roster, make the roster respectable. You know what I'm saying? Make the roster, somewhat a threat. And I believe it's possible, when you think about this entire team from top to bottom, especially from the past year, we were totally underutilized. So we did not maximize our talent at all. And a lot of people like to judge Hurts for his performances. And, I understand that he went out there and threw the football, but when he got thrown into the fold, it was a crap show on all across the board. We actually saw that team playing some of their best football with him, but overall, that team was not really set up for him to be successful. It just wasn't. You had injuries left and right. You had coaches prioritizing veterans over youth talent, which is asinine to me, because at the end of the day, veterans are on the way out. Veterans are on the way out. Young guys are on the come up. When you draft guys like Jalen Reagor, John Hightower, Quez Watkins, and you find a guy and you find a diamond in the rough in Travis Fulgham, and you put Alshon Jeffrey in front of him, or Deshaun Jackson. Granted, Deshaun Jackson, when he's on, but one or two plays, he's done. He can't do it. So it's like, we have to maximize this roster. Right.
And on that same note, even them letting Jason Peters take Mulata's spot when Mulata was playing great. Jason Peters, I love Jason Peters to death, but he's probably 2 or 3 years past when he should have retired. And his body has shown that he can't hold up with some of these strong. They're only getting stronger, faster. These bull rushers on the edge, he can't hang. And especially from the camp, how Mulata struggled in camp, and everyone was like, "Oh, this guy's going to be a wash. He should go back to rugby. He's not going to make it in the NFL." And then for Mulata to step up and to compete and to play at a pretty high level like he did, and then for the Eagles to, like you said, favoritize, the veterans over some of these younger players that have proven that they can play, like you said, Travis Fulgham. It's so frustrating, and it was just a head scratcher completely. And I'm glad that's,
that was one of the largest indictments on his team. That was one of the largest indictments on Doug Peterson. Like, I never thought I would see a quarterback blatantly handicap his team like that. When you have Travis Fulgham doing what he did, during the span that he did it, it was like, wow, like how can you ever put anyone in front of this guy? And then and then all of a sudden you want to start throwing him the ball randomly and think he's going to be on. You took away all the magic. You took away all the momentum. There's no momentum. Football is a game of momentum, right? It's a game of momentum.
It's almost like Doug wanted Carson to fail. It's He's like, oh, he's being Fulgham's being he's giving him too much success. Let's take him away, but make the excuse of, oh, we're giving Alshon his starting position back. Give me a break.
Right.
You know, it's like he got into a pissing match. They got into a pissing match with each other, and Doug Peterson wasn't going to be out pissed, so to speak. So
I agree with you.
You know, but everything happens for a reason, like I said, and I'm really excited for this new coaching staff, especially to see what Nick and the offensive coordinator Stecken can do with these receivers. You know, I think
even
like
Brian Johnson, even the quarterback coach Brian Johnson with Jalen Hurts. You know, this competition is going to be so important. And you know, I mentioned earlier that I kept saying consistencies in this draft. You know, what I'm seeing so far through these mock drafts is a lot of people. A lot of these mock drafts got the Eagles picking up Mac Jones in the second round. Like a lot of these mock drafts, I'm seeing had them picking up Mac Jones in the second round, and I like Mac Jones actually. I like what he was able to do, you know, in Alabama when he did it, and I also think he'd be a great fit. Now we don't really know what Nick Sirianni's scheme is going to be yet. We don't really know what to expect. But what we can say is that, you know, if, like I said, Jalen Hurts bringing competition in with Jalen Hurts will only make him better, and Jalen Hurts is the type of player that he welcomes all the smoke, and I love it. He welcomes all competition, and you know there's footage out there with Jalen Hurts, you know going in the offseason, you know, working out, you know, with the quarterback coaches. I forget his name, but he's definitely a prominent guy. But I kind of want to touch base. I kind of want to double back a little bit on the draft because, you know, with that 6th pick, you know, we talked about defense, but there's a chance a guy like Jamar Chase may be there, a guy like Kyle Pitts may be there. Now, another guy that I mentioned, another guy that I kept seeing on these mock drafts whenever I did them, a lot of these mock drafts, and when I say consistent, it was very consistent. A lot of these mock drafts had the Eagles going Kyle Pitts in the first, and then Mac Jones in the second. Now, you know, I like Kyle Pitts. I like him a lot. Yeah,
but he's kind of a hybrid too, right? He's kind of receiver, tight end hybrid.
Right, he's a mismatch nightmare
a lot too. I think he's got a lot of talent.
He's one of those like you said, hybrid, and he's a mismatch nightmare. Now, some people say, "Geez, I kind of want my guy to be great at one thing," right? And I totally get that. For me, if this guy's available, I want Jamar Chase. I'm a Jamar Chase fan. I want Jamar Chase bad because when you think about our receiving core from top to bottom, they all pretty much have a similar skill set. Fast, you know, guys that when you throw the ball in short space and you throw the ball in open space and allow them to make moves. But we need, like Travis Fulgham just showed us. Travis Fulgham showed us that we need that de facto, you know, possession, big body wide receiver. Now, Travis Fulgham is about 6'2", 6'3", 200 pounds, decent size. But Jamar Chase, that dude is a physical specimen. Yeah, he's physically dominant.
He's like DK, right? I mean, he's built like DK, kind of.
Right, and I would love to have him. He can change our entire wide receiver room. Can you imagine a wide receiver room with you have Jamar Chase, you have Jalen Reagor, and Travis Fulgham? Can you imagine? And if you get that production from Travis Fulgham that you got previously, and Jalen Reagor comes to his own, like come on, that is a rest.
And if the new coaching staff can teach Hightower to track a ball in the air, well, look out, boy. We're gonna be dangerous.
Granted, Hightower has shown flashes. He showed flashes that he can catch that 50-yard deep ball. And you know, Quez Watkins. You know what? Quez Watkins, his upside is not spoken about enough. The first time he touched that ball in that Cardinals game, he took it to the house. That's not just they didn't game plan for that to happen. You know, that kind of play is maybe a 10, 15 yarder, you know, gain. He took his speed on that play was undeniable. And it wasn't like he had the most space. He was on the sideline in close quarters and he was just outrunning everybody. I love Quez Watkins. The moment we drafted him.
He's seen that lane of daylight and he was gone. He reminded me that burst that that kind of like a bloodhound to the hunt to the end zone. That reminded me a lot of Julio Jones. That burst.
Oh, yeah.
It reminded me a lot of Julio.
That's big. That's a big statement for that kid, man.
Right. So he to me, he's got that potential. It's just gonna be. And if Sirianni and this coaching staff can get this receiving core gelling even, and I'm so glad that they retained Moorhead, because we've had so much inconsistency at the wide receiver coach. That's going to be such a plus for the young guys going forward. And I mean, imagine I think I put a tweet out about this. Imagine how big a kudos Sirianni and Steichen are going to get if they can get any kind of production out of JJ. If they can get any kind of production out of JJ, if he's on this team this coming year, if they get any production out of Whiteside, they're going to be like gods when it comes to the wide receiver position.
Right, and that's the sad part about JJ, right? You saw what he was able to do in those possession situations, those red zone situations.
Yeah.
Now we can make a strong argument that Doug Peterson did not, like we mentioned everybody else. Is it fair to say now? Again, I was very high on JJ Arcega-Whiteside, very high on him early, and then every year I couldn't defend him anymore. But is it fair to say that JJ Arcega-Whiteside wasn't put in the proper position to succeed due to Doug Peterson's play calling and lack of creativity?
I definitely think so. Yes, I definitely think that was a strong contributor to his lack of production, and I think he definitely has some ability, and we just need to be able to put him in the right spots to be able to succeed. And that's kind of going back to what you said too about how we have a lot of speed and we have quite a bit of speed in this wide receiver room now. And that's what's the second receiver on Alabama? What's that kid's name?
Oh, Waddle.
Yeah, I don't want Waddle.
I don't want him at all.
I don't want Waddle. He's not gonna fit in our offense. He's just gonna be another.
To your point, right? To your point, I don't want neither Alabama wide receiver. I don't want Devontae Smith. And I understand Devontae Smith did what he did in college, the Heisman. Much love, much respect. National champion, much love, much respect. But I feel like we already have guys that play like that. Like I said, Quez Watkins, Jalen Reagor, and one of the guys in the chat, my man Cameron Holmes, he mentioned something very interesting. He says, I think Quez Watkins is a threat to Reagor. And I agree. Because Quez Watkins, he has such an electricity to his game.
Right.
Like this, and his speed, his ability to just take off. It was just and his ability to make moves in space. Like I was watching some Quez Watkins highlights not too long ago, and and I also did a video on him when we first drafted him. His ability, to just go out and just break away is insane. And I really want, I want Reagor to win, I want Quez Watkins to win, but at the end of the day, based off of maybe what we anticipate from Nick Sirianni, I do anticipate a good amount of 12 personnel because he did a lot of that in Indianapolis. But at the same token, when you have talented wide receivers in your room, Nick Sirianni did make it clear that he's willing to bend the scheme to the talent, and that's what makes a great coach great. Being able to mold your scheme, mold your plays to your talent, and that was where
Doug fell off.
The Peterson failed consistently.
Yep, absolutely, he did, and like you said, we can only kind of guesstimate at this point what the offense is going to look like. But I think it's going to be. I think I do agree with you. I think it's going to be a lot of 12 personnel, and I hope that. I really hope that we try to become a run-first team and give Miles his touches. Let Miles Sanders do his damn thing because that kid is so talented. Miles Sanders can score from anywhere on the field. We all know that. We've all seen it.
Right.
And when he's healthy and when he's running, in my eyes, he's one of the top probably 3 or 4 backs in the league. And like I said, if we can become that run-first team, smash, get off the ball, fire off the ball, and and win at the line of scrimmage, that's going to take so much pressure off of Jalen Hurts going forward. And when you have the running game going, we all know that play action is your friend, and the linebackers and the DBs have to start cheating up, and that's when you get those big plays over the top. So
exactly.
I just hope that I'm hoping that we do become that more of that run first team, because that's kind of where Doug went wrong with Carson too. We were always pass heavy, we were always pass first, and we never outside of that Super Bowl run year, we never really had a consistent run game. I mean,
right. And I put that on talent. I put that on a lack of running though. Like I wouldn't even say it was a talent issue. I put that on a lack of running. Like we simply just didn't run the ball enough, and it was one of those things that I really couldn't make sense of. It was so many games where you saw the running game working, and then for some odd reason, Doug said, "You know what? Let's throw it 50 times, Carson." You know he's struggling. Struggling. So why, right? So why? So we actually need to retool this running back room as well. Miles Sanders is there, but I don't believe we're bringing Corey Clement back, and I don't believe we're bringing Boston Scott back, right? One of the guys, there's a running back from Arkansas, I forget his name, that a lot of people are high on, power back. The dude is a beast. I forget his name.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Help me out. Help me out, chat. The chat knows exactly who he is. Who's that running back from Arkansas? I forget his name. You guys help me out. But
help us out. Help us out, everybody.
Right. But we really don't know. Like I said, we don't really know what this scheme is going to be on Nick Sirianni. At the end of the day, we're basing what we know about Nick Sirianni off of what we saw Frank Reich run. And we know Nick Sirianni had his hand, in the pot a lot, getting things getting things done. With the Colts, but ultimately we just don't know. We just don't know what we're going to see. And I think that's what's kind of exciting because the fact that this coaching staff is so young. The fact that this coaching staff is so young and so and we're anticipating them to be so innovative. I think that's very exciting. And I honestly think by us going this route, because I can't remember the last time we've had a coaching staff this young. All across the board. Right. And that tells me something about where Jeffrey Lurie wants to go. You notice in Jeffrey Lurie's exit interview, he made it clear that, our goal was always to have a top 10, top 5 offense, right? That was always his goal. So I feel like, and we know this is Howie's last year in his contract. If Howie wants to stay here, he needs to go offense in the first round. He needs to make a splash. He needs to make a move that's gonna bring the tension down. Within not just the building, but just the fan base.
Yes, Raheem Boyd is the running back from Arkansas.
Raheem Boyd, thanks you guys. I appreciate it. Raheem Boyd, but I see some highlights of that guy. The dude is just explosive, and we need that goal line back. We struggled a lot in short yardage situations. We struggled getting the running game off on a consistent basis, and there were times where Miles Sanders maybe was a little injured. I love Miles Sanders. I think Miles Sanders can be an every down back, but when it comes to certain short yardage situations, I would love to have that 1-2 punch. I think this team can be really successful if we have that 1-2 punch. But the last time we were successful at the running game truly is when we had that combination of a LeGarrette Blount and Jay Ajayi, which was that perfect blend of power and elusiveness.
And sprinkling a little Corey Clement in there.
And Corey Clement, which in reality, Corey Clement was the receiving back that year. He came out of nowhere that year. He was the guy that did all the passing plays. You know what I'm saying? Yep. He played out his mind that Super Bowl year, 100 yards. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we got to give him some respect too. But since that Super Bowl year, he hasn't been the same. And
that was if I'm not mistaken, that was Corey Clement's rookie year, was it not?
Yep. Yes, it was. Yeah. He earned his ring. I will never take it away from him. He earned his Super Bowl. He earned it.
Absolutely. And I love some of the Cowboy fans that I know that always say that, that wasn't a touchdown that he caught. Well, Gene Steratore said it was. So that's all that matters to me.
And Gene I trust, baby. And Gene I trust.
Absolutely.
Seriously, man. So, we discussed this draft, and I feel like if this draft is going to be a success, like I said, we have to go either Jamar Chase, if we can get him,
Yes.
Patrick Surtain, if we can get him, or
Yeah.
Micah Parsons. In my opinion, if it's not either one of those guys, we failed in the first round. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I agree with you. And I know everyone's got their eyes on Howie, and they're expecting him to. He's got to hit the ball out of the park with this draft. But we can't realistically, we can't expect him to hit on every pick in this draft. Yes,
right.
He's gonna have to pull the right trigger on this first round pick. It's going to be interesting to see if we stay at 6, or if maybe we move back to 9 or 10 or 11 or something like that.
Right. Now, I wouldn't mind moving back. To your point, I wouldn't mind moving back, right? If the only way I don't mind moving back is if Jamar Chase is off the board,
right?
If Kyle Pitts is off the board, you know what I'm saying? Or Michael Parsons,
off the board.
Then I don't mind moving back. I actually think Patrick Surtain will be there at 6. I actually believe that.
Too.
I think he will. But the question is, do you think that's the right value? Do you think you can maybe trade back a pick or two and still get him and get some more picks in this draft? Because like you said, realistically, you're not going to hit on every pick, right? At the end of the day, when you got to pick like the first, like the 6th overall pick, you can definitely hit. But once you start getting deeper into that, 4th, 5th, 6th round, once you start getting into that round, now you're pretty much guessing. Now you're pretty much guessing.
Right. And we may not be done collecting picks, because if we trade, I know I've been hearing all this Zach Ertz talk, kind of going back to the Zach Ertz discussion, but if it's going to be kind of, because we may not be, like I said, we might not be done collecting draft picks yet, because let's say Ertz goes to a team that's not been talked about so much. Let's say he goes to Green Bay. He would be a really good fit in Green Bay.
Yeah,
exactly.
He would.
That offense would be scary with Aaron Jones. I mean, Zach Ertz being a complementary piece to Adams on the outside. Man,
I'm not gonna lie, but you know what's so crazy? To your point, I don't see the Packers doing that, because for some odd reason, the Packers have this thought that Aaron Rodgers can save us in any situation, and it's like, no. I know you have Devontae Adams, but he's going to have to eventually throw it to someone other than him. And, I feel like the Packers have made it very clear that they are going to continue to rely heavily on, Aaron Rodgers' arm to get them through. Now, I know they have the running back in Aaron Jones. They had a running game, but, they fell flat in that, in the playoffs against the Bucs. It seemed like the offense couldn't finish the deal. It seemed like they'll get it going, and then somehow, someway they'll go flat somewhere. Maybe because they started doubling. Maybe because they started doubling Devontae Adams, or maybe because at this point they're playing catch up now. They can't run the ball as much. Pretty much neutralizing Jones, right? So but just get back.
If the Packers gave him that other piece, I mean, that would be very dangerous. I would hate to see him. I wouldn't want him in the NFC. I mean, I'd rather him go to the Chargers. That'd be a better fit for us as as the Eagles, get him out of the conference. But it's going to be definitely interesting to see, because, like I said, if we whoever we do, if we get this trade done with Ertz, that's going to be at least another draft pick to work with.
Definitely. And Zach Ertz is one of those guys that he's going to demand, at the very least, in my opinion. Now, I know he came off a down year because of injury.
Right.
Any other year than that, Zach Ertz is the man.
Yeah.
We have to get. I think Zach Ertz can warrant at least a 3rd round, maybe a late 2nd round pick. I think he can warrant that if you package it correctly.
Yeah, because some of these older tight ends have proven that they can be successful into their 30s, like the Jason Wittens and the Greg Olsons. They've all shown that, yes, your body starts to break down a little bit as you get old, especially the tight end position. But you can still be productive in this league, and given the right opportunity and the right put in the right position, then he could definitely have a few more fruitful years in this league for sure.
Right, for sure. Like, and real quick, you guys, thank you guys for so much for being here on this live stream. You guys have been,
Thank you guys.
very loyal to the show. I appreciate you guys that have been rocking out, for nearly an hour with us. We got 15 people on the live stream and counting. I want to give a shout out to my man. I want to give a shout out to Philly Fan D. I want to give a shout out to Philly 52. I want to give a shout out to Moochie Robinson. I want to give a shout out to Cameron Holmes. I want to get a shout out to Alcaber the analyst. I want to give a shout out to Eagle Slayer. I want to give a shout out to Big Play Slay. I want to give
Slay's in the house.
I want to give a shout out to my man. Who else? My man Philly the podcast that came in earlier. I want to give a shout out to Dink Burrito. Eagle has landed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ack Eagle 88. I appreciate you guys so much for locking in on this content with us, because you guys make the content. This content is nothing without you guys. And I'm eternally grateful for you guys locking in with us, for as long as you guys have been. This draft, everything this offseason has just been so spooky. And this draft, it's almost like once we get one problem fixed, it's like, as Eagles fans, we still can't breathe easily yet, because Howie is still making decisions. And he hasn't proven that he's capable of choosing players that can be productive. I don't understand how someone can habitually fail you and habitually go against the scouting team, the scouting staff, and still have his job. I don't know any GM that makes the mistakes he's made, that misses on the players he's missed on, and still has his role. And you only drafted 2 Pro Bowlers in the last 7 years. That's 7, 8 years. Like, what are we talking about here?
It's inexcusable. It's absolutely inexcusable. It's so frustrating. And like I said earlier, Lurie's got to take off the mom goggles now. I mean, he's had them on for years. How he's struggled for years, even before Chip Kelly. How he struggled, especially in drafting. How he's great at, backloading contracts and things like that. He's good at the nerdy stuff, but when it comes to analyzing talent and pulling that trigger on the best player on the board that would fit into our scheme, he's terrible, and I don't understand it either. It's just so frustrating, and if he doesn't kill it in this draft, Howie's got to go. Howie's got to go. He does.
There's no way you can justify it. You can't. There's no way you can justify his presence in this organization anymore.
No.
Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, I understand he's been here for a while, but my thing is, like, there is a such thing as wearing your welcome. There is a such thing as, you stay just a little too long. There is a such thing as overcook. You can overcook something, and then it's dry by the time you eat it. So when it comes to Howie, I feel like at this point he's just dry, bro. Like, and he got cocky. He got cocky from that Super Bowl. He got supremely cocky, and you heard it in the way he carried himself after that. We're a quarterback factory and all these other things, and it was just asinine in his thinking. It was terrible. It was terrible. Yeah. There's no way you can justify someone like him actually still maintaining their job. You just can't.
Right.
You just can't.
Yeah, and he's a big part of the reason why Carson Wentz is gone now. I mean, from the beginning, they trade away, they draft Wentz, they trade away Bradford. Wentz gets thrown immediately into the fire as a rookie, and they never put enough weapons around him. I mean, they could have. I know I'm probably beating a dead horse, Eagles fans, and I apologize, but we could have drafted DK Metcalf and Chase Claypool. Those weapons around Carson Wentz would have been very scary.
Real quick, Foothills, because I want to respond to Eagle Slayer real quick. Oh, trust me, I ain't forget, my brother. Never forget. But my thing is, we are in what have you done for me lately league. This is like, just as quick as that, that Super Bowl came, and it damn sure went. Because look at us. If that sentiment was the case, and I love you, Eagle Slayer, I appreciate your comment. But if we kept thinking like that, we would not be able to hold him to the fire. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real. The Patriots win the Super Bowl damn near every year. But guess what? When they when things don't look right, they scream loud. Like
That's right.
They got 6 with Tom Brady. They got 5. They got 5 with Tom Brady. 5, and
Right.
they're still not satisfied. You feel me? So my thing is, you know, Howie would be so good if he just listened to the people around him. And Jeffrey likes to claim that he does, but he's clearly not. Clearly not. You know what I'm saying? There's a rumor. There was a rumor that we were supposed to draft the kid. Who did the Cardinals draft? That guy. Was he a DB or something like that, or a safety? We were supposed to draft.
Buda Baker? No,
we had
Buda Baker?
I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember, but there was a guy, Patrick Chin. It was Jeremy Chin.
Oh yeah.
There was a rumor that Jim Schwartz wanted him, right? And Howie was like, "Nah, we're gonna go a different route." And Chin was eating the whole time he was playing, like, you know, so I don't really care what Howie did, you know, back then. I really don't, because at the end of the day, he caught lightning in a bottle. It was the best lightning I ever felt in my life. But he caught lightning in a bottle, man. And you know, and that's why I think this draft is going to be different. I have a feeling this draft is going to be different for the simple fact that he knows he's on a short leash. He's on a short leash.
And going back to that, we were talking about linebacker earlier in the draft. I'm excited to see them. I was happy to hear that.
My bad, Cam. My bad. He's on the Panthers. My bad. Jeremy Chin's on the Panthers. Appreciate you, Cam. Thank you. My bad.
Yes, thank you, sir. But I'm excited to see Jannard Avery move back to his natural position as linebacker.
Very excited.
That's going to be very productive for the linebacking core. I think he was put in. I think he was kind of put out of position at the defensive end, and I think he could be a lot more productive and a lot more dangerous.
More
in the middle of the field.
Yeah, more explosive on that coming off the edge.
Absolutely.
You know, as a pass rusher.
He's great in open space. So yes, more explosive.
And he's been working with Footwork King, you know, as well to get back on track, because him not playing linebacker that year, it kind of it forced him to not have as many snaps because he wasn't as dominant as he would have been, right?
Absolutely.
And my thing is, if we don't go, my thing is you have options at linebacker, right? You can do different things in this draft, because the linebacker draft is actually pretty deep this year. There's a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent, and you can really go different routes with it. You really can. You can go.
Are we bringing back Nate Gary?
Bruh. we don't speak of that man. we do not speak of that. Just that ulcer. It wasn't like I've never seen blatant disregard for success.
Yeah,
like there's no way you allow that man to play as many snaps as he did, and he's a liability.
Right, he's just continuing to fail over and over and over again.
And we had, like I said, we can go like as far as if we don't go linebacker in that first round, right? We can either go the route of maybe if they're there, but we can go maybe the route of Chaz Surratt or Jabril Cox from LSU. Maybe Xavier Collins if he drops. I doubt it, or maybe a Nick Bolton or a Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Like we have options, like if the guys that we want aren't there, what I'm saying? Like there are options. And my thing is like I said before, I don't want to reach for. And the biggest problem is I always feel like we reach every year. I always feel like we're reaching, and we can't reach. This is a year we just cannot reach. We have to go for best available. Every single pick has to be best available. Every round, best available. It has to be. It has to be.
I agree with you. Outside of a quarterback in the first round, I completely agree with you. Absolutely, 100%. I hope that they do focus a lot on. I would love. Don't get me wrong. I'm with you. I love Chase. I think he would be a great fit in this offense. But if he's gone, I would love them to go defense, because we need to. We defense wins championships, and our defense is far from a championship defense. So,
facts.
We still have some pieces. Yeah, they're aging, like you said, with Slay and Big Cox in the middle and BG on the outside. We still have some pieces. Yeah, they're aging, but they can still be productive. So
yeah, let's be real. Fletcher Cox gets double teamed every snap, so it's like just him being there is already a help. And so
I love that linebacker that you mentioned from LSU. I think he's a stud.
Cox, yeah. Cox,
yeah. We'd have double Cox on defense, I guess.
Oh man, but my man, so here's my thing, right?
Yeah.
Let's say we do go pick, because like I've done multiple mock drafts, and one of my mock drafts I want to mention to you. So the very first mock draft I did, right?
Yeah.
I chose in this mock draft. I didn't do any trades. I just drafted straight up. First round. I took Micah Parsons because I wanted to see how the draft will lay out if we took that guy.
Yeah.
We took Micah Parsons, and then round 2, I said, okay, we may not be able to get Jamar Chase, but let's go Terrace Marshall Jr. out of LSU, who was very productive as well.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And then third round, I went safety with Hamza Nasruddin. Now, at the time that I picked him, I didn't know he had a no contact ACL injury. So at that point, I kind of regretted that in hindsight. But then after the safety, I went and because we don't have a 4th round pick this year, I went
not yet at least.
I went round 5. Kerry Vincent Jr. at corner.
Okay.
And then I went Paris Ford at safety after that. Then Robert Haney at offensive guard. Then Tommy Doyle at tackle, and then Buddy Johnson at linebacker. But that draft, the draft simulator I was using, that was my first mock draft. I think I was using what was it called? ProFootballNetwork.com, right? And then today I wanted to go a little different. Today I wanted to use my man Cameron Holmes put me on this one. And Cameron Holmes, I feel you, man. But like I said, it was my first official mock draft. So I actually wanted to use the one Cameron suggested, because Cameron suggested thedraftnetwork.com. And to his credit, I actually preferred draftnetwork.com because it felt more accurate. It felt more realistic to me.
Gotcha.
And that was the draft. That was in my draft that had us picking guys like Patrick Surtain in the first round, and then going Mac Jones, or outside of him, Kyle Pitts, and then Asante Samuel Jr. in the second round. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. So my only thing about Asante Samuel Jr. is he's undersized, and that kind of makes me nervous, because is that going to put us in the same situation as a Devontae Maddox? Now, granted, Maddox, in my humble opinion, was playing out of position. He should have never been on the boundaries. He should have been in the slot. You know what I'm saying? He should have been in the slot.
I agree with you.
And
he was way he's just out of position on the outside, like you said. He's more of a nickel back. Definitely, he should be on the inside. He should be covering that slot receiver. Yeah, he was definitely exposed many times by many quarterbacks.
The sad thing is, though, he wasn't necessarily out of position. He was just not big enough. That was the problem.
He just doesn't have the size. Yeah,
just doesn't have compete. And our receivers nowadays 6'2", 6'3", 210. Right. And these guys are freaks. You know what I'm saying? So I really
basically want to they're like these cornerbacks these days are built like some of these receivers are. They
have to be. And I really want to shout out my man Cameron Holmes, because he was ultimately right. Draft Network was significantly better than Pro Football Network, and I do want to make it clear again, that was like my very first time using a mock draft simulator ever. So literally, I went on Google and said mock draft simulator, and I saw a bunch of links, and I said, okay, I'll click on the first one, and then at that point I was like, okay, this is all right. But then when I did it, the follow-up, the second time, they
Yeah.
had us pick Jalen Waddle with the number 6 overall pick. I was like, what? And at that point,
Wow.
I was like, wow, okay, there's something wrong with this thing. There's something
Yeah.
wrong with this thing.
Yeah.
But then I redid it, and they had Jamar Chase falling to us. But you know, and then on top of that, what made it even weirder, like they had Devontae Smith falling late in the first round, which will not happen. So that was when I knew something was wrong, right?
Yeah, Smith's not going to make it past 10. There's no way.
Right, especially Heisman winner, national champion. Like, you know, there's no way. Like, there's no way. You know, but I want to, you know, we're gonna double back on the draft later on in the stream, because while you're here, I actually want to do a mock draft while we're both on.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Right, and we're going to make it a little bit, you know, we're going to make it exciting.
Yeah.
So, you know, just transitioning the conversation, you know, we mentioned Jalen Hurts and the team wanting to bring in competition. Maybe they draft a guy, maybe they bring a guy, you know, at veteran minimum, who knows, right? But let's talk about Jalen Hurts' skill set. Let's just talk about, you know, what we saw from him, you know, during his time, you know, when he played, you know, when he managed to get on the field, because, you know, he was always sprinkled in, you know, in spurts. And then when he finally got his chance, in that Green Bay game in the second half. And you know, he did his thing a little bit, but he really wasn't given a fair shake. And then he got his first official start. He got his first official start in that Saints game. And you know, in my humble, he shocked us. You know, granted, he wasn't the most accurate. You know what I'm saying? He only completed 56% of his passes. He only averaged about, you know, five yards per throw and only threw one touchdown. But on top of that, he gave you 18 rush attempts, 106 yards. You know what I'm saying? The longest rush of the day was 24 yards. So he brought a spark back to this offense that we didn't see. But you know, just going through some of the numbers, you know, in that Saints game, like I said, he went 17 for 30, 106 passing yards, one touchdown, and he ran 18 times for 106 yards, averaging almost 6 yards per carry. In that Cardinals game, in my opinion, where he had his best statistical performance, even though we lost, it was a nail biter. It was an extremely electric game. My man threw the ball 44 times, which I actually don't want him doing ever again. But he threw the ball 44 times, completed 54% of the passes. He averaged actually a little over 7 yards per throw. And he threw 3 touchdowns. The longest throw of the day was 42 yards. Which I believe was the Quez Watkins throw, right? I believe. The home run, and he had a 102.3 quarterback rating. So he did his thing, but he wasn't able to pull it out. I feel like defense at times failed us. And then, you know, after that, the Cowboys game, threw the ball 39 times. We put up 342 yards, which is the most yards that he threw as a quarterback for the Eagles, and only completed about 53% of his passes. Averaged more yards per throw, with almost 9 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions though, and the longest throw of the day was 81 yards, which was the bomb to Deshaun Jackson. And then the final game, the Washington game where we lost, he went 7 for 20, 72 yards, an interception. Didn't look good at all. But granted, they pulled him. Him. You know, but also he put up 8 rushing attempts in that game, 34 yards, 2 touchdowns as well. So
and Giants fans were losing their mind.
Losing their minds. And so my thing is, like, Hurts, he hasn't shown us enough to say he's the guy or should be the guy, but at the same time, he didn't show that he's not capable of playing in this league. He can make things happen.
Right. We definitely have not had a big enough sample size. We need to kind of take this next year as his rookie year extended. You know, give him that.
I like that.
Give him that time to grow, build. Some of the things he does well, obviously, was the anticipation throws. feeling that pressure, of the pocket breaking down, and he's obviously good at getting out and running in space, and those are some of the definitely things he does well, in my humble opinion.
Right.
Obviously, some of the things he needs to improve on would be his arm strength, number one. Number two would be his grip strength on that ball. That's kind of some of the stuff that I thought Carson Wentz needed to work on, because when they come in and they try to bat that ball out of your hand, you got to have a good, strong grip as a quarterback.
Hey, as John Gruden would call it, you got to be the two-hand monster. You got to be the two-hand monster. And it's so funny, like, I know I don't want to keep going back to Carson Wentz, because I'm much past that, but I need to address the fact that John Gruden, he spoke about it in his quarterback room with Carson Wentz. He said, "Listen, you're talented, you're great, but you gotta keep that ball high and tight. You gotta keep that ball tight." And it's so ironic that was something he just never managed. He couldn't register it in his head, and it didn't fall into Carson Wentz's game, and anything that doesn't fall into his game, he has a really hard time of acclimating to it. But my thing is, ball security should be a part of any offensive player's game.
No, I agree with you.
If you're on offense, you have that ball in your hand, you have to ball security is huge. That's why, speaking about ball security, Miles Sanders, like remember that game, the Detroit, remember Miles Sanders' rookie year, I believe it was. That Detroit Lions game, I believe he fumbled 3 times. Fumbled 3 times. After that game, he didn't fumble not one near time that season. I don't believe it was almost like he had to go through that to understand the importance of it all. You know what I'm saying? He had to go through that.
And Carson Wentz was never able to. He went through that so many times, but he was just never able to acclimate that into to make that a focal point of his game. It's just, and especially we all know that he was the best on the move when he was moving out of the pocket. And a lot of the times you got to be extra careful with that ball when you're moving out of the pocket. So, but like you said, he's on a different team now. So let's
big fact. Yeah. Let's leave him where he's at. The only thing we wish for him is his 75% success, because we need him to play at least 75% of those snaps, or 70, and they make the playoffs. So,
I seen a tweet. I seen a tweet that somebody hoped that that Carson Wentz plays 76% of the snaps and the Colts go 0-16. That was pretty funny.
That's clever.
That's not realistic, obviously, because if he struggles, he's going to get pulled. They're not going to let him. They're not going to let him sink the ship next year, and I don't think he will either. I think if Philip Rivers can be a Pro Bowl quarterback in that system, and Carson Wentz he's an upgrade. He's an upgrade.
And on top of that, Philip Rivers never had the most prototypical throwing motion. He always sidearmed it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
he's got one of the ugliest throwing motions, actually.
Right. And Nick Sirianni was one of the main reasons why Philip Rivers was able to do what he did, because and that's why I'm really excited about this coaching staff. I'm really excited to see what they do with Jalen Hurts. I want to see them help. I want to see them help him improve his him reading. Because he missed reads, right? I want to give a shout out to Max Brown, former quarterback for USC. He was on Gate City Sports. My man Stephen Hyder's YouTube channel. Gate City. He interviewed him, and they talked about. They talked about Jalen Hurts, and they also had a link to his video explaining Jalen Hurts is, what makes him, how can he be great, and what he needs to improve on. And one of the biggest things is he missed a handful of reads. He missed a handful of reads when it came to that Saints game, that Dallas game. He missed guys. And
you're talking about him improving on going through his progressions, right?
Exactly.
Not just that first progressions, that first receiver's not there, so he's taken off and running. Yeah, I definitely agree. That's definitely something he has to improve on,
because his instinct is to run.
Right.
His instinct is okay. First read, second read out there, go. That's his instinct. But
he's like Michael Vick. When Michael Vick first came in the league, he's got that same mentality that if it's not there, go. Make it happen with your feet. And he's talented in that aspect. He's definitely fitting the mold of kind of where the quarterback position is going in the NFL. So I'm excited to see what Jalen Hurts can do. If Kyler Murray can have success in this league, so can Jalen Hurts.
And that's my thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people think. A lot of people like there's
Kyler
this
Murray's
notion.
that little annoying squirrel.
There's there's this notion or like this feeling that Hurts can't be successful, right? And my thing is like if you
how do people know that? How do people know that after only 5 games? Come on,
right. 4.5 to be exact. 4.5.
Right, exactly.
And it's really unfair because a lot of people think your quarterback has to be the top 3 quarterback in the NFL to win the Super Bowl. As long as your quarterback is good enough and dynamic enough and the roster is great, you can win the Super Bowl. We proved it that year that if you have a great cast, because let's be honest, that Eagles team that won the Super Bowl wasn't the most talented team whatsoever. At all. No. But we were not the most talented team that year whatsoever. But we hit our stride. People were doing their jobs. People knew their role. People were confident. You know what I'm saying? We
caught fire around Foles. Foles lit the fire, and the fire just got. I mean, especially in that. I mean, taking down Tom Brady in the Super Bowl was amazing, but that NFC Championship was impressive.
Very impressive.
Went off.
Because, let's be honest, that first drive, we were nervous. We were like, whoa, what the hell? They scored on their first drive. What the hell's going on? And then next thing you know, that Patrick Robertson or Patrick Peterson, that pick 6, that set the tone. And then at that point, we were just off to the races. But I wanna speak on what Dink Burrito brought up. He mentioned the fact that Jalen is smart. He knows there's money left on the table, and also Eagle has landed. Mentioned the fact that every quarterback misses reads. That is a fact. I'm not nitpicking. I want to make it clear that I'm not nitpicking with. I don't want to nitpick with Jalen Hurts, right? I actually just want him to actually see the field. What I'm saying? I want him to be him. I want him to be what got him there. But I also want him to improve because we see Lamar Jackson, right? We see Lamar Jackson being so dynamic with his legs. We see him being able to make amazing throws, amazing deep throws. We see the Ravens. We saw Harbaugh build that roster completely around, Lamar Jackson's skill set, right? But when it mattered the most in the playoffs, when the game slows down a little bit, and you have to make that money throw, you need your guy to be able to.
And the defenses take away your strength like they did to Lamar. You got to be able to adjust, and you got to be able to make throws from the pocket.
You got to be able to make that money throw. And I do trust Hurts' ability to make, because Hurts throws an amazing back shoulder throw. He has beautiful touch. Like you said, he doesn't have the strongest arm. And
And that's one of his.
And I actually agree with you, Jason Wall. I agree with you 100%. He's more closer to Kyler than Lamar. He's more closer to Kyler than Lamar. I agree with you 110%, Jason Wall. I agree with you. But
absolutely.
I definitely, I really want Hurts to be. I want Hurts to really be the man. I really do, because I like his moxie. I like his demeanor. I like the way he conducts himself.
Me too.
I like his story. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, he just knows how to carry himself in the position, and nothing scares him. Nothing scares him, in my opinion.
Right, and he's from what I've seen so far, and what I've seen from Jalen Hurts in college, he has that fierce mentality, of that fierce competitor mentality that Carson Wentz kind of lacked. Carson Wentz sometimes, when he'd get tackled or the defense would make a good play, he'd be like good play, or like patting them on the back, and stuff like that. I don't want my quarterback doing that. I want my quarterback a fierce competitor.
Pissed. I want my quarterback pissed, pissed that It seemed like Carson was
Pissed
too
off,
much of a nice. He was too much of a nice guy.
right.
Too much of a nice guy.
Like Russell Wilson. He's a great guy off the field. You know, he does a lot of things in the community, but he is a fierce competitor on the field. Russell Wilson hates to fail, and that's what we need as a quarterback. We need a quarterback who considers failure not an option, and that's what I think I'm seeing in Jalen Hurts. And I hope that it just gets even more, that the NFL just brings it out of him even more and more as his career develops. And I think it can, because
I agree.
Yeah, if that's another thing he's got to improve on too. He's got to be able to trust his offensive line. And if you trust your offensive line, then you're able to go through your progressions. You know, you're able to get to that third, maybe even fourth progression. And with some of these pieces coming back, like Brandon Brooks, and hopefully he can be healthy going forward, and we get Lane Johnson back, and I think we could have a pretty dangerous offensive line again. And obviously, depending on what happens with Jason Kelce, we're going to have to see. But I wouldn't be opposed to, you know, moving on from Jason Kelce. Yeah, he did make the Pro Bowl, but to me, his play was kind of inconsistent last year. I mean, he's a great, don't get me wrong, Eagles fans, I think Jason Kelce's a great leader, especially on that offensive line. I mean, he's the quarterback of the offensive line, but you know, he is getting older, and he's always been a little undersized for a center. So,
right,
you know, I wouldn't hate them drafting a center in the draft if they can. You know, a possible replacement for him. I've even heard some people talking about if Kelce retires, that maybe Isaac Salamalu could move over to center. I guess that's a possibility.
We have options. You know, to your point about the old line, right? You know, I feel like it's kind of overstated that we need so much O-line help. We were just dealing with injuries last year. That was really what it was. It was injuries. You take away the injuries, that O-line is great. And then we mentioned guys like Jordan Mailata. You know, we mentioned Brandon Brooks. You know, he's going to come back from an injury. We just need him to stay healthy. You know, we mentioned Lane Johnson. He has to come back healthy. You know what I'm saying? We mentioned Samalu, but on top of that, I love Jack Driscoll. I love Nate Herbig. I love those two guys. Yes. I love those guys.
What's your stance on? I know. How do you feel about trading away Dillard if they do? What do you feel about
now? Dillard? My thing is, Dillard is approaching a contract, right? At some point, you're going to have to decide: are you going to pay him, or are you going to risk losing him for nothing? Or is he going to be willing to take a smaller deal to prove himself? You know what I'm saying? You're kind of betting on multiple things to happen, right? But let's just say he's unwilling to sign a shorter deal or a smaller deal to prove himself. Then at that point you have to move on from him. But here's my thing, right? I'm not if we retain Dillard, which I actually would prefer, because that gives us more depth, and he still has an untapped talent. I feel like I feel like he was kind of ruined a little bit when we forced him to play that right tackle spot in that Vikings game. But you know, I feel like if we move, my theory was, okay, if we have Mailata at the left tackle spot, which would be beautiful, he could be that anchor. Then at that point, you shift over Dillard to the left guard spot, right? And then you shift Samalu to the center spot. And then you have Brandon Brooks at right guard and Lane Johnson at right tackle. Right. And you still have Herbig and Driscoll as you know, swing guards and tackles, rotational guys that can come in at need, you know, when need be. And then you still draft maybe a lineman or two later on in the draft. You know what I'm saying? Right. This O-line is really not the worst. It's really not.
No, it's not. And at first I kind of jumped the gun, and I was kind of thinking that, you know, we needed to kind of focus on the offensive line in the draft, but then I kind of took a step back, and I'm like, wait a minute, we still got Brandon Brooks under contract. He should make a full recovery. You know, Lane Johnson's gonna have that. Oh, Joey's in the house. What up, Joey Shakes?
It's the guy. Yes, sir.
That's our guy right there.
It's my man, for sure. It's my guy. It's my guy. It's my brother. It's my brother, man.
Yes, sir. Shout out to everybody that's in the live stream right now. Thank you guys all for being here.
Big
very
facts.
much appreciate it.
Truly.
If you guys haven't already, come check out the Nest Out West. It's my YouTube channel, Eagles all the time.
Yep. Also,
Philly
you guys,
Foothills.
all links are below. Check the description. If you guys haven't, all the links are below, you guys. All the links are below.
Come check it out. Great Eagles content.
Follow my man. Follow my man Philly Foothills on Twitter at Philly Foothills. Everything is in the description for you guys. Cop about some truck and a merch. Support the channel. We love you guys. And at the end of the day, this content does not move without you guys. It just doesn't.
Absolutely.
We're so great. We're so great for you guys.
And we love, and I know Tone does too. We love providing all this content to you guys. It's to me, it's not like a chore or anything like that. It's nothing but fun, and I enjoy each and every minute of it. And we're very humble, and we appreciate each and every one of you guys. So thank you very much for joining the live stream. We appreciate it.
Right. So Ding Baruta has a question for us. Like, who does he see us getting at corner? Well, if possible, if we don't go to wide receiver spot, I see Patrick Surtain. A lot of people love Asante Samuel Jr. I know he's talented, but he's undersized. The only way I expect us to get him is if you're going to put him in the nickel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What's another guy? Another guy I was thinking about. What's his name? I had him in my pre-draft. JC Horn, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Eric Stokes. But my thing is, or Kerry Vincent Jr. My thing is, if you're going to go cornerback, you have to get him. If you're going to go corner, you got to get him, and you got to get him in those first few rounds. You can't wait too long.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. You have to, if you have an opportunity to, like you just said, to drop one. If you can't put one of these top two receivers around Jalen Hurts, we got to go defense. And yeah, we need to focus on cornerback. I think that's a definitely need for this team. We need to have somebody that, like we said earlier in the show, somebody that can take some of that pressure off of Slay and cover the number one receiver on opposing teams on some plays and be able and for Slay and the defense to be able to have full trust in this person's ability, and they'll be able to get the job done.
For sure, man. For sure. And I wanna bring up this one mock draft.
Caleb Farley. Caleb Farley's another name.
Right. Yeah, he's an option for sure. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get Surtain. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys draft Farley because they need a cornerback bad, right? But I want to mention this one mock draft that I did. Now on this mock draft I did, I actually traded back our first round pick. I traded back a little bit, and I actually traded with the Denver Broncos straight up. We just swapped picks, the 6 for the 9, and with that pick, I was able, with the 9th overall pick, I was able to snag Patrick Surtain, which in my opinion is actually a pretty decent value at 9. And then I was still able to get Terrace Marshall Jr., the wide receiver from LSU, in the 2nd round, and then 3rd round, Pete Werner, linebacker from Ohio State. Then in the 3rd round as well, the safety from USC, Talanoa Hufanga, who I've seen and heard nothing but great things about. Yeah,
I have as well. I was just kind of reading some of these comments. We're getting a lot of comments now. How many people we have on the live stream now?
Right now we got 15, but people are going in and out. So we're kind of teetering in that 15 to 20 range. Yeah, you guys, let's get this into 20. Let's get these numbers up, you guys. Make sure you guys like the video as well. It really helps everyone find the content. It helps everyone just find it any and everywhere, you guys. If you guys can share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, wherever you guys can share it with your fellow Eagles fans. Let them know that we're doing this Eagles talk, and we love it to death, man. Truly, man.
Give us that thumbs up. Give us that thumbs up down below, too. We really appreciate it.
Thumbs up, all of it. Listen, I want all the smoke. Thumbs up, thumbs down. I want it all, baby. I want it all. If you haven't already, guys, subscribe to Tone. Smash that subscription button. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to my man, Philly Foothills, and that's that West, man. Seriously, we are both up and coming, and we both of them are coming, and we're putting our foots to the pavement, man, on a grassroots level, and we're trying to build it through the people, man, because the people are always right. You know what I'm saying? And I want to talk about. Are you familiar with Tamorrion Terry, wide receiver from Florida State?
Not so much, no.
Whenever you get the opportunity, I want you to Whenever you get the chance, just look him up. The dude is a freak.
Okay.
Now I don't see him lasting beyond the third or second round. I just don't. But if the Eagles can find a way to get him in this roster, the dude is like 6'3", 6'4", 215. Like he's a physical specimen. Like if we could find a way to get Tamorrion Terry on this team, I would be one of the happiest guys in the world. And that would honestly, in my opinion, satiate the lack of a Jamar Chase pick. Now I'm not putting them on the same level, but I'm just saying based off of pure physical measurables, pure physical attributes, what he's done in college, you know, I would love to see Tamorrion Terry play for the Eagles if we don't go the Jamar Chase route. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see Tamorrion Terry in the Eagles uniform. The dude is like honestly, I feel like whatever team he goes to, he's gonna start immediately.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way about Chase Claypool last draft. I knew whoever got him, he was going to start pretty much immediately, and he was going to make a pretty big impact as a rookie, and he did. And I agree with you. I understand what you're saying. You're not comparing their talent level. You're comparing their physical stature and how they would be a good fit into our offense.
Yeah, and in the NFL because exactly. Exactly. The pieces around how they fit into the scheme. Because again, I know people love Devontae Smith. I like him too. I love him, but I feel like just from a physical, measurable perspective, and just what he does, how he plays the game, I just feel like we have guys that are too similar to that skill set already. We need a receiver that's change of pace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we do.
We need to give multiple looks. You know, if all our guys do the same thing, it's like it's easier to scheme for our offense.
Right. Absolutely. And it's going to be more predictable of what some of the play calls are going to be, because when you right now, probably the closest thing we have to that big possession receiver is Travis Fulgham. But we need other pieces around that are similar to that skill set and similar to his, you know, ability to be that possession receiver, make that big catch in traffic. And some of these smaller, faster receivers can't do that. So that's why I definitely don't want what's his name again? Waddle, right?
Oh yeah, Jalen. Yeah, right. And he's coming off an injury. Like, so we don't need that problem at all. We just don't.
To me, that's almost like repeating the same pick in Jalen Reagor. You know, he's that fast. You got to get him in open space type of receiver, and we have a lot of that already in this offense. So
right. I want to respond to Philly 52 real quick. To your point, Philly 52. I'm not knocking Devontae Smith's skill set. I know what he does. He won the Heisman. You know, he was amazing. I get it all. But my thing is, I can't get past his stature. I just can't get past that. And we have too many guys on the roster built like that. Like, I understand. I get what you're saying about his separation. I get it, Philly 52. I got you. I respect it, my brother. But we have too many guys physically that are built like that. And I'm tired of it. I'm sorry. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of we need a big, imposing physical receiver. We need that, bro. I can't say that enough. I wouldn't even be mad if we went Kyle Pitts in the first round. I wouldn't be mad because I know I have a feeling Nick Sirianni is going to be creative. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like that just begs the question. You know, what do we really expect from Nick Sirianni and his staff? You know, we talked about it briefly earlier, but you know, what do we really expect? You know, we talked about a little 12 personnel. And then you know, there was footage out there with Nick Sirianni talking about the play calls they ran, you know, in Indianapolis and how they resembled so much the 2017 Eagles playbook. You know, like, you know, just from a play calling perspective, you know, a creative perspective, you know, what do you kind of expect from Nick Sirianni?
I expect him to get a lot out of this team as far as putting guys in the right positions to succeed, to not only to succeed, but to succeed to their utmost, to reach that bar of success with their
that potential, right?
With their specific skill set. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, I don't know. Do you know? Speaking of the 12 personnel, do you know? Do we still? Is Richard Rodgers still under contract with the Eagles?
I'm actually not entirely sure.
We'll have to
I'm
look
really
that
not
up
entirely sure. I'm really not entirely sure.
I
but
liked a lot of what I saw out of Richard Rodgers, man. I know he's not the youngest kid in the world, but he definitely got some separation at the tight end position, and he's definitely more of that. He's a pretty good, from what I saw. I think too, he's a pretty good blocking tight end. So, he's kind of that dual threat as far as he can work in the run game and he can work in the pass game. So, what I'm expecting out of Sirianni is this. I think he's going to try to make this team I think he's going to bring in another running back or two to complement Sanders.
I agree.
Be it a Marlon Mack or somebody like that. I wouldn't be opposed to Marlon Mack. I think he's a talented guy.
Right.
But I expect him to try to make us a run first team and try to take some of the pressure off of Jalen Hurts, being that he's such a young quarterback, and just let him kind of progress that way. And yeah, this coaching staff, outside of Stout and the new defensive line coach Rocker, all these guys are under 40. So it's going to be really interesting.
It's funny. We really don't know. We really don't know. Like, that's the thing. Like, we really don't know. We really like. It's so hard. It's so hard to pinpoint, right? Because all these guys come from different situations for the most part.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see. So interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Rocker can do with Josh Sweat, because I think Josh Sweat's got a ton of upside at the defensive end. That kid's got some talent.
Oh my God, I think Josh Sweat's gonna.
I love the celebration he does with the wiping the sweat off of his helmet. I love that. I love it. He's got some fire. He's got some drive, and I'm excited to see what he can do with a lot of these defensive linemen. But definitely Josh Sweat, like you said earlier, I think we should move on from Barnett. I think he's talented, but I think some of his issue is in between the ears. I think Barnett's some of it's up here, and I don't know if that could be if he can be a very productive player with some of those.
He's injury prone, and he's injury prone as well.
Absolutely, yes, he is. So, I mean, he's shown flashes, but he's also gone through long stretches where he hasn't done diddly squat. So
yeah, and that's the problem, especially when you're a first round pick. You can't have those stretches. Granted, the Super Bowl year he was effective, but again, like, he, in my humble opinion, he wasn't even consistent that year. He just had timely plays that helped us in the long run. He had timely plays.
Yep.
And we mentioned, just like Nick Sirianni, we briefly talked about it. Like, I really see him catering this offense to the talent. I really feel like he's going to maximize his talent to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? And I really see him, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Nick Sirianni, and this is another thing too. Our first round pick is going to determine who's in control. It's going to let us know. It's going to tell us.
Oh yeah.
If we go quarterback in that first round, which I doubt, and we better not, but if we do, we know how we're still pulling the strings.
Absolutely.
But if we go any other position, wide receiver, if we go Jamar Chase, Kyle Pitts, you know what I'm saying? Even if we do go Devontae Smith, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm not in control of that. But if we do, I'm not going to be angry. But, it's like, damn, I kind of wish we got somebody else. But nonetheless, like, Devontae Smith is still extremely talented. You know what I'm saying? And I do believe he's going to be productive in this league. I believe that for a fact.
If we go Parsons in the first round, we know Sirianni's got some say.
Yes. Yo. And,
Jonathan doesn't draft linebackers.
Right, and Jonathan
Gannon does not draft linebackers, and it's killing us. It has been killing us for years. Who's the most talented linebacker we've had in the past 10 4 or 5 years, it was Jordan Hicks. And where's Jordan Hicks now?
The Cardinals,
He's
I think,
in Arizona.
right? Arizona, right? And he
Yeah.
actually had a great year.
Yeah.
He didn't get hurt not one time, I don't think. I don't think.
Right.
Don't quote me on that, but like there's something, you know, speaking of injuries, like there's something has to change with this medical staff. I don't know what they're doing. I honestly think they're mismanaging guys. I really think they're mismanaging guys' injuries, man.
Yeah. Well, we got a new strength and conditioning coach, so I have my fingers crossed that that's gonna help dramatically in that area. And you know, if Dallas Goedert can stay healthy, if D God can stay healthy in this offense, and Sirianni can get him into space where he can get some yak, look out. Dallas Goedert could have a Pro Bowl year for sure. Definitely. I think the kid's talented. My issue with Goddard is his health. Whether he can consistently stay healthy is what I'm hoping he can. I love the kid. I try to call him God. I usually just call him Goddard or D God because I hate saying Dallas. I try to avoid saying Dallas as much as possible.
Eagles fan through and through.
Right?
No, I feel you, my guy. You know, my thing was like I actually had high expectations for Goddard, but injuries, there were so many injuries all across the board. It was so hard to really see what this team could really be. And that's the sad place we're operating from. We really don't know what this team is. We really don't. That's why I don't think we should make any impulsive decisions, right? I think we should just draft, use our common sense when we draft our players this year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, like if the guy was a beast in college, draft him. Don't overthink it. It. You know what I'm saying? Like I just I just feel like every year we find a way to overthink this draft. We find a way.
We do. I don't think Chase will be available.
It's possible, man. You know, Miami might grab him. You never know. I wouldn't be surprised if
he's definitely going to go. He's going to go. Lamar Chase isn't making it past 6. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah. Jamar Chase, he's not making it past 6. You're right.
He's not.
And if we don't pick him, somebody getting him right. Like he's not going to make it past. Like the dude is really it. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to talk about. You know, we briefly spoke about what we expect from this Eagles roster, but you know, we talked about Josh Sweat. You know, we mentioned other guys as well, like Dallas Goedert. Who do you expect to break out on this Eagles roster in 2021?
That's a good question. I think Quez Watkins is going to have a breakout year this year. I think they're gonna, like we've been saying, I think Sirianni is going to put him in the position to succeed with his skill set, and I think Quez Watkins is going to ball out this year. I think he's going to have a big year. You know, especially if we're able to draft a receiver and open up the field even more for a player like Quez. Then I think he's my pick. Who would you say?
So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go offense and defense, right? So I want to try to keep it, you know, with the young guys. So I'll
throw my defensive player in when you're done.
Got you. If I had to really put my finger on it, who I expect to break out in 2021, it has to be Jalen Reagor. He has to break out. He has to, because no matter what he does, his entire career, he's going to be compared to guys like Jamar Chase. I mean not Jamar Chase. Justin Jefferson. He's going to be compared to guys like CeeDee Lamb. He's going to be compared to guys like Claypool. You know, Pittman with the Colts. Denzel Mims. You know what I'm saying? He's going to constantly be compared to guys in his draft class, because a lot of people feel the Eagles reached for him, especially when Justin Jefferson was sitting there. You know, a lot of people feel like they reached. Now, I'm in on Reagor. I'm in. When we drafted him, I was a little pissed, but I was like, you know what? I'm in on him. I'm in. Yeah. It is what it is. He's an Eagle. I'm in.
Right.
But you know, I expect him to break out because he has to. Because if we go wide receiver again in the first round, if we go again, that's just going to put more pressure on that room to perform. And like we said, iron sharpens iron, baby. Competition breeds competition. And if you're not up to snuff, you're not getting the snaps. And if you and if you draft a guy like Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith, you know what I'm saying, or even a Kyle Pitts, you know, that'll put more pressure on Goddard. You know, like if you go that route, it's going to automatically make these guys better. Automatically, even if you go wide receiver, in the second round, you know what I'm saying. But you know, my breakout guy on offense is Jalen Reagor, and then when it comes to defense, you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb. I believe Davion Taylor is going to have a great year. Davion Taylor. I'm going out on a limb.
Well, I like it.
Because you know he has all the physical attributes to be successful in this NFL. He has the speed, he has the size, but you know he just wasn't giving the he got to the game late, and he got to the game late, and it kind of put him in a position where he kind of was playing catch up constantly. So and he also, and like I said, he wasn't getting the snaps. He was losing snaps. He was losing snaps to guys like T.J. Edwards and Nathan Gary. You know, Alex Singleton balled. He did his thing. But you know, I really expect Jalen Reagor to break out on offense and Davion Taylor to break out on defense. Now, who was your defensive guy?
Before I get to that, so I just want to touch on a little bit what you just said about Jalen Reagor. I agree with you. I think he does have to have you know, he has a breakout year, but I also too wouldn't be. I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world if Quez kind of passed him on the depth chart, because that would put Reagor in probably that punt return role, and I think he could be very dangerous on special teams, especially on punt returns. So
those jet sweeps and all that,
right, yes, exactly. But going on to my who I think is going to break out on defense. I was hoping you weren't going to say my dude's name, and you didn't. But I'm hoping, and I think Kavon Wallace is gonna have a breakout year this year.
I have high expectations for him.
Yes, I think the kid's talented, and I think he has a big upside. And from what I've heard and from what I've seen, he has a tremendous work ethic. So I think he has not only the talent, but the opportunity is right there in front of him. You know, with McLeod coming off an injury, and you know the other safety position kind of being up in the air, you know, I definitely think it's Kavon's time to shine this year on defense, and I hope he does.
Yeah, because the DB room is wide open, open. The only person who solidified is Slay.
Big play.
Everybody else, earn your keep. Yeah, earn it. And you bring in a guy like you bring in a guy like Patrick Surtain, you know, that will breed competition. You bring in a safety like the dude from Pitt, you know what I'm saying? You bring in the dude from USC, Talanoa Hafunga. Like you bring that in, you're going to make some guys turn up. You're going to make some guys turn up.
Yeah. I think he's off the Eagles now, but I loved especially like in the nickel spot, I loved Cravion LeBlanc. I thought he was a great, piece to the defense, and hopefully they can get if they don't get him back, then hopefully they can get some pieces around that are kind of his similar skill set. Because I love Strap. I think Strap's he's a little. I think he's underrated. Sometimes people don't give him the love he deserves.
Right, but to your point about Strap, right? It goes back to those guys. Just really, I'll be honest with you. We had one legit corner, and then we had a bunch of nickel guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. We had a bunch of nickel guys. Really, we had one legit boundary corner, and then the rest of them were just actually they belong in the nickel. But we were trying to force guys on the outside, and that's just.
And quarterbacks were pinpointing that. They were throwing away from Slay probably 80 to 85% of the time. And they were just whoever was on whether it was Maddox or whoever, whether it be Roby Coleman on the outside, they were picking on whoever's on the opposite side of Slay. they were having a field day with it.
I feel you. And, to Cameron Holmes' point right about Kavon Wallace in the slot. Hey, listen, I wouldn't even mind Kavon Wallace making a shift to that hybrid linebacker safety role, because now we're in that NFL. Now we're in the NFL where these safeties are playing so close to the line of scrimmage, and they're playing in the box, and then they drop back in coverage. I would love to see Kavon Wallace, teetering in that Derwin James role. Derwin James from the Chargers. I would love to see him teetering in that role. I would love to see him try to become that sort of player, minus the injuries, of course.
Right, and we need that, because what's the sort of the trend in the NFL is these hybrid tight ends that a lot of them call for that top end DB to be covering them, and if he could be that hybrid linebacker safety, that would be awesome. I would love that. I think that's not a bad idea. I think he's big enough to hang as a linebacker too. So it's a good idea. Yeah,
I agree with you, man. And we covered so many things. We covered the aftermath of the Carson Wentz drama. We covered so far the veterans we decided to let go, and Sean Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey, and potentially Kelsey, Zach Ertz, and others as well. We covered what we think the Eagles should do with their number 6 overall pick. Maybe we should maybe Micah Parsons, Patrick Surtain, Jamar Chase, Kyle Pitts. Maybe Devontae Smith. I'm not saying he's a bad pick, but maybe, I'm saying he's a good pick. It's just the fact that, just physically, I just feel like we got someone physically similar to that. So we covered that. We covered what we potentially can expect from Nick Sirianni's staff. Just creativity and adaptability, and putting guys in their strength positions. Putting guys in positions where they can ultimately succeed. You know what I'm saying? We even discussed it. Jalen Hurts and the competition that's coming his way. Will they go quarterback in the second round? Maybe drafting Mac Jones. Will they wait later in the draft? To develop a guy. Will they go the route of draft? Getting a quarterback at the veteran minimum. We covered so many bases with this team, because there's so many things that are still unwritten, right? But the one thing that is written is our schedule, and let's get into it a little bit. So the home schedule, and right now we don't know how things are going to fall, but or the time of the schedule, but this is just the home schedule, right?
Right.
We obviously Dallas, the Giants, Washington football team. Now we got the Saints at home. We got the Buccaneers at home. We got the Chiefs at home. We got the Chargers at home, and we got 49ers at home. Now, the Jets is location to be determined, because I think this is going to be a 17-game season, so that's to be determined. But
right,
just looking at that schedule, what are you feeling right now?
That schedule's looking tough, especially outside of the division. You're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4 playoff teams, right? 5 with the football team. So yeah, that's looking pretty tough, right? Well, it's kind of so New Orleans Drew Brees is retiring, so New Orleans is what going to probably go. They're probably going to go with
Taysom or either Jameis.
Right. So that's going to be a factor, right? The determining factor, obviously. The Buccaneers is going to be a tough game at home. Kansas City is going to be. This is all obviously depending on injury too. We're basing this off of them being fully healthy teams and
right. The only thing we can hang our hat on, honestly, is the fact that we're going to be in our city. That's right. That's the only thing we can hang our hat on. Like, the games are going to be in Philly. That's the only inkling we had to beat, the Buccaneers or the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying?
And us as a society starting to transition out of this pandemic, it's going to depend a lot on how many of us fans are allowed in the stadium, and if that, makes it a more of an actual home field advantage. Because
this team relies heavily on fans, like heavily.
Yes.
You can tell the team just didn't have that same fire in their belly this season. It just seems like there wasn't like no one was as explosive as they could have been. It just seems like no one had that battery,
right.
in their back, it seems like. And then on top of that, not having the fans, kind of gave the coaching staff a pass all season. Because you know how the Eagles fans get down, bro. If you got one too many drives that you ain't putting up points, the ghosts are coming out. The boo birds are coming out. The ghosts are coming out. Boo! Like, it's gonna be a cold winter. You dig? Like it's gonna be wild. But like you said, Saints without Breeze, man. That's gonna be very interesting.
Right?
I honestly look at the home schedule. I say okay. So I believe we can beat Dallas. I believe we can beat the Giants. I believe we can beat the football team if we can survive that defensive line. I believe we can beat the Saints because we beat them before. And Jalen Hurts has that thing over their head. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And I believe we can beat the 49ers because right now we don't know what Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be this year. We really don't. And that team is talented for sure, but we don't know what Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be.
Right.
As far as the Chargers go, we know they got Herbert, but I think they've got a new coach, so they're going through a transition. So honestly, all these games are very winnable, except for the Buccaneers and the Chiefs. Those games, I can't see myself saying we win those games. I just can't.
I would definitely tend to agree with you, especially. Like we don't know. So there's, we don't know what's going to happen with Dak and Dallas. We don't know how much of a full strength Saquon's going to be with New York. Washington doesn't really have a quarterback. So yeah, I agree with you. Those are definitely 3 wins right there, especially if we can, avoid Chase Young wreaking havoc because that kid's an absolute beast.
Mm-hmm.
And New Orleans is beatable. I agree with you, especially without Breeze. And outside of the dome, they just don't seem to play as good outside of the Superdome.
Right.
And I mean, I would pretty much tend to agree with you because San Francisco is going to be beatable. The Chargers could possibly give us, a little bit of fits depending on how Herbert continues to develop and how he gels with the new coaching staff and things like that going forward. So exactly. I would definitely see. I mean, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. And the Jets, I mean, I definitely think the Jets are beatable. They're going to be in complete rebuild mode next year.
Right.
So I think we could go. I think we could easily get out of that stretch with only 2 losses. Absolutely.
For sure. Definitely. Especially given the fact that the team's young, they're going to be hungry, new staff. And Jalen Hurts' legs, I love him as a quarterback, but we have to acknowledge the obvious. His legs, his ability to keep the play alive or make something happen with his legs just adds another element to the game. Just adds another element to the whole cocktail that will, having legs like that, having the ability to break away like that and being as physical as he is, those are the kind of attributes that can pull you out of a bad situation. Let's just say, I don't know, fourth quarter, you're down by 6. You're in the red zone, you're moving the ball, but next thing you know, it's 3rd down, and you need to get that 2-3 yards. He can just dart, and he just offers another element that you have to account for. But transitioning from the home schedule, let's talk about the road schedule now. So obviously Dallas, New York, Washington. But we have the Atlanta Falcons, who are very beatable, Carolina Panthers, who are very beatable, the Las Vegas Raiders, who are very beatable as well. We also have the Denver Broncos, who are very beatable as well. We have the Detroit Lions, who are very beatable. So, there's a handful of teams on the schedule who are very, very beatable. Very.
I agree with you.
Very beatable.
I agree with you.
And honestly, if we do what we're supposed to do, we can actually now my thing is though, Washington at home is going to be tough.
Yeah,
that's going to be tough. New York always plays us tough in New York. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting going to Las Vegas. playing in Denver is always interesting because the altitude. Detroit has new coaches. So this schedule is very interesting. Actually, it all depends on how this our success this year is going to be predicated on how well we handle the road. How well we handle the road.
Yeah.
So I think this team can go. I think this team can go 9-8. Maybe 8-8. If they're lucky, I think this team can go 10-7 if they're lucky. It's possible. I think we're teetering in that. But I think we're teetering between that.
8-8 to 10-7.
8-8 to there may be 17 games this year, so maybe
True.
that 8-9, that 9-8. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 10-7. Maybe if we pull it out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I really see this team getting between 7 to 10 wins, between 7 to 10 wins this year. I see that happening.
Yeah, I would definitely tend to agree with you, especially given the fact that a lot of defenses, especially in the first half of the year, we're going to be able to catch some people by surprise.
Exactly, because
the defenses aren't going to have anything to go off of. They can only kind of speculate and try to figure out what kind of offense and what kind of plays the Sirianni and this young staff are going to develop around these players. And yeah, I think we could kick some people in the mouth early on in the year, and if we can make some good in-season adjustments and keep things fresh and keep defenses on their heels, then yeah, I think there's definitely a possibility to go 9-8, 10-7. I mean, they could possibly even go 11-6 if things really went well. I could see that a possibility, and I think 10-7 or 11-6, that will definitely in my eyes win us the division and at least get us a home playoff game. So yeah, I mean, I know Eagles fans are up, and they're kind of up. Their emotions are still running high from everything that's happened, but I think this is going to be we have the potential for it to be a quicker turnaround than a lot of people are speculating it to be.
I agree. Like we have an opportunity. If we draft well, we can really actually turn this around pretty good. We can turn this around pretty good, if pretty well actually, if we draft well. And
and if Howie's listening, if we draft well, Howie Roseman, if you're listening, you better draft well or your ass is craps, buddy.
Oh my goodness, man. And on that note, speaking of the draft, like I mentioned prior, you guys, a special little gift for you guys. We are going to do a mock draft live with you guys. Now, I did a mock draft yesterday. I did about 4 of those things, but we're going to do 2. You got time to do 2 mock drafts with me, Philly Foothills? You got time?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me get this set up, because I really want us to really get a feel for what we can do, or what we may see. So let's get this bad boy set up, man. Let's get this bad boy set up. Let's get this bad boy set up. All right, you guys. So I am using, as you guys already know, I am using the draftnetwork.com, courtesy of my man Cameron. Shout out to my man Cameron. Shout out to my man Cameron, man, for giving me the deets for this one, man. Shout out to my man Cameron. So we are going to do a mock draft, you guys, and we're going to do 2. We're going to do 2 of them. Both of them are going to be automatic. And the difference is on one of them, we're going to do the predictive board. And then on the other, we're going to do player rankings to see what happens. We're going to do all 7 rounds. So as a matter of fact, you know what? I actually don't like the player rankings because it goes based off the rank. It's not really as accurate as it could be. But the predictor board is what we actually predict, teams are going to do based off their situation. So we are going to do this, you guys. If you guys are just hopping into the live stream, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe as well. I appreciate you guys so much for locking in on the live stream. You guys always show love. Make sure you guys subscribe to my man, Philly Foothills, the Nest Out West YouTube channel. Type it in, The Nest Out West, you guys. I would be so grateful for you guys to lock in with my man. He's up and coming like myself, and we're slowly but surely just building this Eagles ecosystem, this Philly sports ecosystem, you guys. We got heavy hitters that's always doing it, on a high level, like Joey Shakes, Laura Brunson, the Philly Talk podcast, Philly Take with RB,
Philly 500.
Philly 500, my man, the God, Philly the podcast, you know what I'm saying? Darius Dalton, my man,
Philly
Mr.
Mike.
Philly Mike, yep. Mr. Dugas, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Shout out to my man, Be More Philly. Shout out to my man Philly Fresh, the General.
The General.
I General. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man. He on vacation right now. Show him love as well. Shout out to my man Gate City as well for always bringing y'all hot fire content. Who just knows the ins and outs of these contracts. Knows the ins and outs of these schemes. The dude is a football mind, and I'm grateful for that guy just lending his mind to the people, man. So
shout out to A2D Radio.
Yes,
A2D
sir.
Radio. Yeah.
Shout out to A2D Radio as well. Fire as well. Yeah. I want to give a shout out to you guys as well. Shout out to Dang Burrito. Shout out to Philly 52. My man Cameron Holmes as well. Who else? We got Michael W as well in the live stream. Who else?
Much love, guys.
We got Eagle Realist in the live stream. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you guys for sticking around as well. We got 13 people in the live stream. Marcus Meese. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Shout yourself out. Matt Weeks, my guy, showing mad love. Richard Ruth, mad love, my guy. Appreciate you. Philly Talk Podcast is always coming through. Like I mentioned, Joey Shakes coming through is always showing love. It's just the love is always real, you guys, and I'm so great. My man Kevin Thomas, my man Philly Notion. I can't believe I almost left on my man Philly Notion. Shout out to my guy Philly Notion. That's my brethren. That's my guy. My man live in Texas trying to hold it down. Shout out to my man Lenny D, up and coming as well. Shout out to my man Let's Go Birds, the young cat coming up. You dig? Like, it's so many of us. And we're all just slowly growing. We're all holding each other down, man. And I love it. I love what we're building here. So let's just get right into this mock draft, man. Let's do it. All right. And we're off. Okay. Kyle Pitts, okay. All right.
I don't hate it.
Okay.
Kyle Pitts is a dangerous weapon.
Big facts.
Dangerous weapon. Jalen Hurts can do amazing things with Kyle Pitts.
Big facts.
Yeah, Pitts would, especially if Sirianni wants to run more of that 12 personnel, Pitts wouldn't be the worst pick in the world, that's for sure, in the first round.
Pitts
we could do a lot worse.
Definitely. He would give them versatility. He will allow them to be supremely creative. Supremely.
Yeah. Yep, I agree.
Mac Jones. Whoa, okay. Mac Jones at QB. Like I told you, Phil Hills, I told you. Like a lot of them think they're gonna go QB in that second round.
Wow. Mac Jones is becoming the narrative in the second round for us, I guess.
Right, and it's consistent. That's the thing. It's supremely consistent. It's very consistent.
That's going to be
consistent.
If we draft another quarterback in the second round, that's going to be some talk in Philadelphia.
Oh, we got a corner. Sure. Okay, we got a corner. Corner out of Syracuse. Oh, we got Paris Ford, the safety. Okay, out of Pitt. I like that.
Okay. Yeah, that's some good picks so far.
Those are pretty. Those are good picks actually so far.
Yeah,
those are very good picks.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Howie Roseman should be taking notes.
I pray to all the guys, the football guys. I pray he's taking more than just notes.
Right.
I hope he's taking pictures. I hope he's I hope he's just gluing it to his bedroom wall, his refrigerator. I hope he's doing all that.
Hope he's putting hieroglyphics inside his fan cave.
Yep. I hope his wife is leaving little notes in his lunch pail. All of that.
Hope he's writing serial killer. He's making serial killer letters with the cutout letters.
Yo, I hope he's eating alphabet soup and all those draft names just popping up in the soup. All of that.
Alphabet cereal.
Oh man. But yeah, like I like these picks so far. Okay, Seth Williams. I like that.
Oh yeah.
Seth Williams edge, okay. Oh, Ellison Smith, Seth Williams, a wide receiver. Then we got Ellison Smith at edge. Okay. So we got Kyle Pitts at tight end, Mac Jones, a quarterback in the second round, a cornerback in the third. Then we got Paris Ford in the third as well. Then we got Seth Williams in the fifth, and then Ellison Smith in the fifth as well. Okay. All right.
I like Seth Williams. Seth Williams, he's got that kid's he's got some skill. I like him.
I like that. Chris Evans, running back. Okay. I like this draft so far.
Chris Evans. I like him too. Yeah.
I like this so far. This is actually not that bad. Not that bad.
What round is it on now?
It is on round 6.
Okay.
Yep, round 6. Brendan James, lineman. Okay, I like that. Out of Nebraska, I like that. Those guys from the Midwest, those big burly guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, those corn-fed dudes.
Okay. I like that. Judam and a center. Okay, he lined up a center. Okay, pro style offense. I like that.
Could be potentially Jason Kelsey's replacement.
Maybe.
Yeah.
All right, so that was pretty much it. You
right.
guys. Like that wasn't a bad first round. Let's just look at it real quick. So, Kyle Pitts in the first round with the number 6 overall pick. I like that. I'm not mad at that whatsoever. I'm not mad at it at all. Mac Jones in the second round. That's very interesting. Very interesting, as a matter of fact. So we're gonna have, if that is the case, 2 second rounders going at it. I like that. Two guys that were underrated and didn't really
2 number 2s trying to prove themselves.
Yeah, exactly. I like it. The guys that were always number 2s wherever they went, and then they fought for that number 1 spot. I like that. Then we got a cornerback and the safety in the third round, which I like. I think that's pretty good value. I love Paris Ford out of Pitt. I like that.
Now, Eagles fans, don't get too excited about this mock draft, because knowing Howie Roseman, there's no way it's going to go this well. Right. I hope it does, believe me, but we got to keep some realism in there. And let's hope we can hit on even if we can pull half of this draft right here. That'd be great.
Right.
That'd be great, especially the first half.
Right. Now let's switch it up a little bit. I did auto, right? So this go around, let's try to let's make the picks ourselves. Let's make it interesting.
Right.
So picking for the Eagles, obviously.
Yep.
We're gonna do all 7 rounds. We're gonna do manual, of course. All right, you guys, we're gonna be making the picks ourselves this time. We're gonna make this very interesting. Also, you guys, we want your input. We want you guys to lock in and give our input, man. We really do. I'm always looking forward to hearing you guys, speak your piece and give great reason for why we should pick certain guys. And I lean on you guys always, because there's no way I can keep up with everybody. There's no way. And there's no way any of us can keep up with everybody. So I lean on you guys in that regard to throw names out there that you guys know of. And even if you guys think we should trade back, give your input. Ultimately, we're going to make the decision. But we want you guys to give your input, and we want you guys really throw it out there and see what happens. So
give us your feedback and let us know what you think.
Definitely. So let's jump right into it. And after this draft, we're going to call it a night. So let's jump into this draft.
Let's
All
do
right,
it.
so Trevor Lawrence, obviously. Ooh, okay. Okay. All right. So this is where we are, you guys. So far, Trevor Lawrence was taken, Zach Wilson was taken, Jamar Chase was taken, and Kyle Pitts was taken. And so was Penny Sewell. So, what do you think? Foothills, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? What are you thinking? So left, there's Justin Fields, Jalen Waddle, Caleb Farley, Patrick Surtain. Now, we can, I believe personally, we should trade back. What do you think? I think we should trade back at least a pick or two. What do you think?
Yeah, because my thinking is I'm probably at this point I'm probably leaning Surtain, and we can move back to 9 or 10, and he'll probably still be there more than likely.
Okay.
So I think I wouldn't hate a trade back and gain another pick.
Okay. Let's try it. Let's try it. Okay, so let's see if we can now. How far is the question? 8, 9. Let's try 9. Let's try 9.
That's probably a good spot.
Let's try 9. Oh, it has to be premium. They're slick. Wow. Sorry, you guys. I didn't buy the premium version. I apologize. Oh, well, I can't. Yep, Cam, I realized it too late, my man. I realized it too late. I realized it, Cam. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me, Cam? Oh man, but it's all good though. It's all good. We're gonna still make the pick. Because of we are where we are.
And Parsons is still on the board too.
Parsons is still there, but my thing is like Devontae Smith, like it's such a drop off from him at wide receiver, like so. And then in the second round, you can still get another corner in the second round.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go. How do you feel about Devontae Smith? I'll go with it. Just because of Jamar Chase not being there, Kyle Pitts not being there. Now we could go Micah Parsons. We could do that.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Talk to me. What do you guys think? Talk to me. What do you guys think?
I say we go defense. We either take Surtain or we take Parsons.
Okay, so I think I'm leaning towards Micah Parsons because the only reason he's dropped that far is because of character issues. It's not because of talent at all.
Right.
He's only down that far because of so-called character issues. So-called. Now, let's see what the people are saying. Cam is saying we got to help Hurts. I feel you, Cam, but I think we can get a decent wide receiver.
Also helps the quarterback too.
Right. I think we can get a decent wide receiver in that second round. You know.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think we can too.
Eagle Realist is saying Smith. Everyone's saying Slim Reaper. Everybody keeps saying Slim Reaper, man. Slim Reaper. Some Joe Marijuana says Parsons. You know. Dank Burrito says Parsons. You know,
who's the Slim Reaper? Who's that? Who's the Slim Reaper?
That's Devontae Smith.
Oh, okay. I hadn't heard that nickname yet.
Yeah, so I mean, let's see. All right, you know what? I'm going to trust you guys. And I'm going to go. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to trust my gut. Actually, I'm going Parsons. Let's go Parsons. We're going Parsons. Surtain went to the Cowboys. Wow, Devontae Smith went to the Giants.
Oof.
Oh, that makes me sick a little bit.
Right? Especially the Surtain going to Dallas. That's ugly.
It is a little ugly. I can't lie to you.
I don't like
that. Now, in this second round, we have to go offense. That's a guarantee. We have to.
Absolutely.
Now, this is what I'm thinking. Wide receiver.
Yep. Best available.
Now, the question is, who do we think is the best available?
Right.
We have Nico Collins, Shatarius Outwell, Dwayne Eskridge, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Elijah Moore, Tylen Wallace, Amari Rogers, Demetric Felton, Diamond Brown, Frank Darby, Say Sarant. You know, what are you guys thinking? What are you
Let
guys
us know,
thinking?
guys. What do you think?
What are you guys thinking? Cam says Terrence Marshall. Joe Marijuana says Moore. Eagle Real says it's Moore. Cam says don't go receiver.
I personally like Moore.
Cam says I knew it. Now, now let's see. So let's see. So just looking at the best available, honestly, they got Asante Samuel Jr. up there, Trayvon Moehrig. A lot of people are high on him.
Yeah.
Now, if we don't go corner, we can go safety. I think that's a fair trade-off. What do you think?
Yeah, because I think we need help at safety just as much as we do at corner for the most part. I mean, I think it's a fair trade-off, definitely.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So Trayvon Moehrig, is that what you guys want? The first pick was Micah Parsons, my friend.
Yeah, Moehrig. I think that's a good pick.
All right, let's do it then. Trayvon Moehrig. We're going to do it. Trayvon Moehrig. So far, you guys, we have Micah Parsons and Trayvon Moehrig.
Let us know what you guys think so far.
Thank you, guys.
Watch Campbell. Okay. Trayvon and Kravon. Yep. Love it. Absolutely.
Philly fans. Oh, say less. I'm chilling. Oh, man. All right. Let's see. All right. So now I feel like we should go offense at this point. Now let's see what we're dealing with. Wide receiver. I am not against Elijah Moore. I am not against him. Now he's 5'9", though. That bothers me a little bit.
Yeah, he's short.
Right.
That's pretty short. That's
Tylen Wallace, 5'11". What are you guys thinking at wide receiver? What are you guys thinking? Watch Campbell, King of Rome with D, St. Brown, Elijah Moore, Wallace with no corner on opposite of Slay. Let's check out the corners. You never know. Let's find out. Right?
Yep.
Might get because wide receivers, you can always coach those guys up. All right, now Tyson Campbell from Georgia, Sean Wade, Paulson Adebo, Elijah Molden, Keith Taylor Jr., Trill Williams, Israel Mukamu, Benjamin St. Juice. What are you guys thinking?
Wait.
Kerry Vincent Jr.
Campbell's still available? I say Campbell.
Let's do it. We went Campbell, you guys.
So far we got all defense, right?
So far, 3 defensive guys in a row. Interesting. Everybody saying Sean Wade is cheeks. Oh my God.
I like it. Defense. That's right, Dank Burrito. Absolutely.
Oh man. All right, you guys. I think we're up. So let's see where we're at. So right now we have Micah Parsons at linebacker, Trayvon Moehrig at safety, and Tyson Campbell at corner. Now, What are you guys thinking? Once again, Jabril Cox is here at linebacker. That will solidify the linebacker core. Elijah Moore is still here. I'm going Elijah Moore. I'm going Elijah Moore. He's still there.
I like that pick. I like the pick.
I like that. I like that pick tremendously.
Absolutely.
Elijah Moore still there. I had to get him. He was still there. I had to get him.
That's a good pick. My phone's dying, Tone. So if I lose you guys, that's why. But
I feel you, my brother.
Yeah,
you know,
we're going over. We just crossed that. We just crossed that 2.5 hour mark. So we're
shoot, man! For real, it's so crazy. We were longer than I expected. But you know, if you do cut out of here, my guy, I want you guys to know. Make sure you guys subscribe to Philly Foothills, the Nest Out West YouTube channel. Everything is down below. If you guys need to find him, everything is down below. The links are in the description. Subscribe to my guy, the Nest Out West. He's up and coming, doing his thing, just like myself. And you know, he brought the heat today, and I'm so grateful for you for locking in with my guy. You know, reaching out to me and extending that olive branch, my man. I appreciate you. I'm so grateful for you, my guy. I'm so grateful.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. We're definitely going to do it again. This won't be our. This is definitely. You said that. You said this is your first official live stream on your channel, right?
This was technically my first collab, I believe.
Collab live stream
on my channel. My first collab that I orchestrated. I've done collaborations before, but this is the first one. This is the first one. This is the first one that I've orchestrated. That I put together, and you know it wouldn't have happened without you reaching out to me, my guy. And I'm so grateful that you did, and it worked out tremendously. And you know we had great content, my man. We did great content. So let's make this next pick. So you guys, who do you guys think we should go now? Where do you guys think we should go now? So we are in the 5th round. What are you guys thinking? Darius Stills is here. Ramondre Stevens is here. Ellison Smith, Caden Stearns, Des Fitzpatrick, Kerry Vincent Jr. from LSU. Bryce Thompson, Javian Hawkins from running back from Louisville, Daz Newsome, wide receiver. So many wide receivers, right? So many of them. Shy Smith. It's so many of them, you guys. What do you guys think? What do you think of Philly? What do you think of Foothills? Oh man, I think Philly cut out, man. Yep, that was it. That was it for Philly, man. But I want you guys to definitely lock in on my man Philly, man. What are you guys thinking? What do you guys think? It's time to go O-line? All right, let's go O-line. Let's go O-line because we definitely need to solidify it a little bit. Let's go O-line. Okay, so let's go O-line. Give me a second. So there's Trey Hill, Kendrick Green, Darius Hutchinson, Drake Jackson from Kentucky. What are you guys thinking? Drake Jackson is there. He's there. All right, so let's do it. Let's do it. I trust you guys. Drake Jackson. I trust you guys. And we got a back-to-back pick. Should we go O-line again? Should we go O-line again? I say we go tackle if that's the case. What are you guys thinking? I drafted Drake. What are you guys thinking? Running back? I'm seeing running back, okay. I'm seeing running back. What else? I see running back on O-line. What are you guys thinking? What are you guys thinking? Ooh, Raheem Boyd is here. Should I wait? I really like Boyd. Should I hold out for Boyd, you guys? Should I hold out for Boyd? Also, if you guys are just hopping back in, here are the picks so far. We got Micah Parsons in the first round. Then we got Trevon Moehrig at safety in the second. Then we got Tyson Campbell, cornerback in the third. Then we got Elijah Moore in the third as well, wide receiver. Drake Jackson, interior offensive lineman, in the fifth round. So I think I can wait on Boyd. I think he's going to be there. I really think he's going to be there. Do you guys think we should go for another O-lineman, though? I mean, another O-lineman. Should we get another DB? What are you guys thinking? I'm really tempted to draft Kerry Vincent Jr. He's 5'10". Oh, yeah, okay. I like that. Okay, he's 6'2". Cool. Remember, this is the fifth round, you guys. We're in the fifth round. We're in the fifth round. We're in the fifth round. Round 5. I want to get good value. Ooh. See, my thing is, I'm not trying to reach, right? So, best available, you guys. So, what are you guys thinking? Okay, let's see. I think we need to solidify the DBs a little bit more. So, I'm going to go. Bryce Thompson. No, I'm not going him. Nah. It's gonna be interesting. Everybody saying tight end. Okay, let's see. I feel the running back I want. I think we can wait on him. All right, out of the tight ends, who y'all liking? Who y'all liking though? Who y'all liking at tight end? Talk to me. Who y'all liking at tight end? (6'4", 320). Great size. SEC, played against great competition. I like that. All right, we're back up, you guys. We're back up. We're back up. Back up. All right. So far, we got Micah Parsons in the first round, Trevon Moehrig at safety, Tyson Campbell at corner, Elijah Moore at wide receiver, and we got 2 interior linemen. Those guys can probably play that either the guard spot or the center spot. That's the good thing about Jeff Stoutland. He can coach up damn near anybody. So at this point, we are in the 6th round. We only got 2 picks left. So I think we probably should go. We definitely got to go running. We definitely got to get a running back. We got to get a running back. got to get a running back. He's not going to be there. I know he's going to get picked up. Raheem Boyd. All right, you guys, this is the final pick. Actually, it's not. I lied. I'm sorry. It's not the final pick. I lied. I'm sorry. It's not. All right. Who's available? Who we liking? Who we liking? He's here, you guys. Y'all know I'm going to get him. I know he a project, but I want him. Sorry. I know he a project, but I want him. I know he's a project, but I want him. I know he's a project, but I want him. He has all the physical, like, come on, man. Like, come on. 6'4", 203. Come on. He looked like DK Metcalf. I'm not passing on him. All right, you guys. This is the final pick. All right, you guys. 7th round, Mr. Who we going? Where we going? Ian Book, QB. Oh, yeah, we definitely didn't get a quarterback. Let's do it. Why not? Let's do it. We ain't go quarterback. He's small, though. Hey, I trust y'all. All y'all saying Ian Book. All y'all saying. I really want to give a shout out to my man. Philly Foothills. Like, he came on here and brought that heat, man. He came on here and brought that heat. And I'm grateful to all you guys as well. Supremely grateful to all you guys for locking in for as long as you guys did. Like, I really appreciate, like, I don't think you guys understand how humble I am. Like, I really appreciate you guys, because I understand that without you guys, the channel is nothing. And I understand that you guys really, you know, take time out of your lives to watch the content. And I'm grateful. I'm always grateful for that, man. I'm always grateful for people spending their time on things I do, always. So these are our picks, you guys. How y'all feeling? How are we feeling about these picks? Talk to me. We got Micah Parsons from Penn State. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling about what y'all see here? This is our draft class if Howie does his job. How y'all feeling about it? Kevin says Terry is a beast. I agree. Son Colin Cap. Hey, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind at all. Scary Terry, I like him too. I feel you, Kev. I feel you. I feel like Jonathan Gannon would be in love. Yeah, man. We definitely went defense heavy the first. Yeah, we definitely went defense. Those first 2 picks was defense all day. And then, you know, we went offense. So, yeah, those first 3 picks were definitely defense, and we went offense for the rest of the way. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. I like that. Because Elijah Moore and Tamorrion Terry give you a different look. I like that a lot. Eagle Realist gave me an A-, man. Bro, go watch Terry for sure, man. Go watch him. But you guys, I'm so grateful for you guys locking in on the content. I'm going to get out of here. We've been live streaming for damn near 3 hours, almost 2 hours and 45 minutes and counting. Like I always say, you guys, whether we win or lose, we just got to charge it to the game. I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II, and I'm always grateful for you guys locking in on the content. You guys show me so much love, undoubtedly. You know, I can't speak on it enough. You guys really are the best. You guys are the best. And there's nothing more I can really say about it. You know, shout out to my man Bashir Randall. Shout out to Cameron Holmes. Shout out to Ding Burrito, Eagles champ, Eagles realist, Kevin Thomas. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Gillespie, Manny Panera. You know, shout out to all you guys, man. Shout out to all you guys. Like this content doesn't move without you guys, man. It really doesn't. Joe Marijuana, you know. I appreciate all you guys. Everybody that was involved, man. Joey Shakes, Philly, you know, Philly Talk Podcast with Philly Mike. You know, I'm really grateful to, you know, everyone's just spreading love unconditionally. Like that's what we need to push, man. You know, I've been paying attention to the ecosystem lately, and you know, it's kind of unfortunate the way some of the content's been, you know, flowing, you know. And we all need, you know, we all need to hold each other down, man. We all report the same news. We all do the same content. At the end of the day, we all just got our own flavor, and we all could eat. Like the hoarder mentality doesn't survive. We all can eat, you guys, and I firmly believe that. But I'm gonna end it on that note. I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II, and y'all was tuned into y'all dose of Chalk It Up. Where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Make sure if y'all new to the content, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe for more. If you've been loyal to the soil, loyal to the channel from the very beginning, you already know where my heart is, and you know how we get down. Look, like I always say, man, one love, fly Eagles fly. Let's get out of here, man.